think it's probably going to be Pixel that's going to spot them as they round that corner. So any damage that V7 does is going to be tried to pick up by whatever Pixel can find on it, and Circle does stay in this tricky hillside fight. I also want to point out that Tai Lu's positioning right now is real strong.
And Pixel has an angle into Donawa. Very long range shots. Donawa lucky to get away without a tire being popped or something. Driving on a cliffside like that with a popped tire can get a little tricky. So able to avoid any real danger. And Pixel going to just say, well, I've got information on this team. He's feeding it over to the rest of SSG. Now the calls are coming out for Roth to shift in to the northeastern corner of the circle.
Updates on a couple of different positions. We've got Batulins is trying to figure out what he's going to do for his squad right now. And Twisted Minds is he's kind of eyeing that position where 17 Gaming is going to be at, and yep, right up on top of it. This is not going to be the easiest rotation for them to navigate. The other two members are very far outside the blue right now, and this is just a symptom of the circle, right? There's just not going to be a lot of territory. You either commit to Tricka and at least get something, or you need to make sure you defend a dip with every fiber of your being.
Yeah, and you don't want to make a center dive just yet as Twisted Minds, because that hillside is already not only occupied, but a lot of teams are going to have angles into it. And Xiao Wu, he knows he can get up here because his backside is clear. The rest of 17 able to lock this down behind him in this 2-2 split, so he can take a more central position. Twisted Minds cannot.
Well, Twisted Minds can also exploit this, I think, a bit. Tai Lu is running, I believe, a 3-1 split. And they have a Tongmu that's just kind of playing a bit more than everything else. So this hillside does lead directly into Tricka itself, so we might see a couple of different shots out of that one. Pio, I think, is in the air right now. Yeah, you can see his parachute distance. The other members of Gen G just trying to send it in, as it is a role reversal, as Gen G's members on the ground not finding a lot.
Gua habis makan nanti baru unmute ya.
Pio looks like he's heading into the southwest corner at Tricka. Sharp shot with a bolt. He's really, really good with them.
Selamat datang.
He likes the AWM.
Bang Keking, Nuril,
but
that was a
Babang.
weird play from Gen G in general. Is usually the guy up in the sky is feeding the open pathing and where to go. As that just felt like, I don't know, misread or something else like that. That did not go the way they wanted it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could say that a lot of Gen G's plays have been weird this event. They're just not quite on the same page in the meta. Speaking of AWMs, Mime has one for LG. Gets backed off temporarily by Spiral from Twisted Minds.
And we saw LG get multiple crates.
Tadi barnya naik.
So they're probably working with some pretty strong toys right now, and they've got a hillside that's going to provide a lot of support for them. The split-up position from 17 Gaming could be exploited by
Tadi tuh gue ngomong, kalian pernah nggak kelilipan bumbu sate padang? Nah itu yang lagi gue lakukan tadi tuh gitu gue ngomongnya.
This is pretty good recognition here from Batu that this is about the only space available in this circle that's relatively safe, and it makes things much more difficult for 17 since they split out in this 2-2. So
gara-gara gue nggak pakai sendok guys, makanya tusukan nyiprat barusan ke mata.
He's got an AWM and a Groza and a mortar. I mean, he could absolutely end somebody's round. I think Snaker's maybe on point. I think he's going to be gunning for 17, the two players that are up on the side of the hill. Snaker sees him, so he's going to be able to coordinate these shots.
How's his read on it? Looks like about 350 meters. I think that might be a bit long. We'll have to see. As shot has now made it a bit more complicated for these guys over here in 17 Gaming. Yeah, just a bit short.
Just another tick up. Nope. He's going for 350 still. I guess they felt like that's good enough, but they can keep the pressure on. Maybe try to back 17 off for a rotation.
How many of these does he have? Oh, the tree is its own independent. Oh, the ghost is going to go down. Mime's going to continue bringing him down. Xiao Wu suddenly feeling like he's in the red zone on top of him, dancing around. You can see staring at the sky. Where's the next one going to come?
I think 17 thought that those shots were going to go longer. Xiao Wu on 4 health. So close to going down. Great utilization here by Mime.
Oh, but Twisted Minds saw that. They're already hopping inside of vehicles. They're just jumping, leapfrogging over the other members.
Halo guys, selamat datang yang baru bergabung.
What we saw LG set up.
This is brilliant. They know the leaderboard. They know who got knocked up here, and they can do some serious damage.
Dihajar guys.
And another follow-up from Lou.
That is 2 big components for 17 Gaming down. Jalbe, what are you going to do now? Looks like he was trying to rotate. Also has their rotation denied. This was a magnificent read from Twisted Minds.
In so many different ways, not only on the positioning and on the points, but on the leaderboard as well. So beautiful stuff, and you force 17 out of the next circle. That gives space for Day Trade to try to make their move. But I don't think they fully read initially where 17 was. Suju had some opportunities to do some damage, couldn't find it. Donawa is going to clean out Petrichor Road over in Trika on the very eastern edge of the circle that's remaining in there. So the damage done by the Sonics is finished off by Donowa. Still though, Twisted Mind's going to have a role to play in here, but they're going to be under fire from a couple of different teams. LG wants to try to claim that territory potentially.
You're seeing NH also just get ripped to pieces. Them and V7 rotated in roughly the same spot. That is going to be Cerberus, Nagasaki also providing some supervision. The remnants of Genji and Pio also kind of peeking down into this one, and you can see while a couple of kills have been exchanged between them, it is nobody coming away from it clean.
And Tosi now going to have to play salvage for V7. He needs to find some points.
Indo main guys, nah coba dijawab guys.
To good use. Found Xiao Bei, found the flush. Now Belmoth on the ground for day trade. Cerberus has a bit of an angle on the outside of those smokes.
Mau nonton replay buset. Rajin juga bang. Tapi udah nonton OPM belum sih? Obrolan papa muda.
Huge stuff for Twisted Minds.
Can they defend up? Day Trade's trying to crest it, but the distraction is going to be enough for LG to also make a counter move. Remember, they had their eyes on this position just a moment ago. They needed that breathing room to try to sneak their way in there. Twisted Minds are just doing a magnificent job of reading everything around them. No shock on that one at all.
Yeah, Shen actually now, Tai Lu as well, smelling blood, wanting to claim some points. Rello has the Groza out. Mime with a grenade in hand. If he sees that Molly, he might be able to dial up a pretty good grenade there. Day Trade seeing Suju and claiming Suju. Nicely done by Puchills. Day Trade should be able to get the res on a flash, and then they've got a tough situation. Maybe they can wait this fight out between LG and Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds didn't get the res up.
Well, the circle also has shifted directly into this. So Trika now out. So that means that T5, SSG, Donowa, Genji all going to have to make a move at roughly the same time. A Storm is going to be setting up just directly on top of Cerberus to the south.
Suaranya kecil bang.
Making things very tricky for Cerberus, because again, you can see much better into the storm than you can out of it.
Itu masih kecil
so Cerberus is going to be in a bit of a pickle and be stuck, and Day Trade shifting away from that storm. Donowa continues their reign of destruction, already taking Petrichor Road out, looking for Genji. Sungjong hidden behind the tree. Salute had an opportunity to get stuck behind that tree, but didn't.
Now Molotov's going to be coming out. Information fed over. Soul, the rest of the boys going to be coming down onto this one pretty heftily. But it's going to go and spot him out. Finish that one, and now it should be a much easier path for Donowa to move forward, but it is going to be in H down in front of him.
Either go through NH, T5 gets wiped out off screen by Tai Lu. Tai Lu Shen is down. Twisted Minds looking for more points. This is what makes them such a good team, that they can scrape together points in games that look like they don't have anything to work with.
And they've shifted into the circle, into the storm right now, actually. They're going to go ahead and get center of the circle as well. And now Tai Lu has to move out. They have to go after that Tonglu knock that just happened with LG. So oddly enough, LG just keeps doing favors over and over that Twisted Minds are just making use of.
Yeah, LG, I mean, ideally wanted to take Twisted Minds out along the way, but Twisted Minds is just dodging them magnificently. And here's what we're talking about. You can see pretty well into the storm from the outside of it, and Donowa has a great opportunity to knock NH out.
But SSG spotted out. The Donowa reposition, very vulnerable on this flank point. Are going to get the down onto Anonix, but it's going to be Soul that shifts back down into him. How is he going to go for the play on this one? He has got to be careful. Storm now up on top of him. Nade's going to be exchanged. Donowa starting to step away, but keep in mind the blue zone is going to be coming in very, very quickly.
Well, FaZe is hot on the heels of SSG, so it's just a snake along this edge. Everybody cannibalizing each other. Tianma getting involved as well. They get the knock on the Gustav. It is just an absolute mess here on the east side of the circle.
Dude, it is just, there's minimal vision.
Babangsat, makasih 100 ribunya ya.
Trying to exploit that at the time. Tianma also getting that raining damage down up on top of FaZe. They're going to make something with that one, but you can see every single time you go for a peak, there's already two or three teams involved. If you're looking in the north, it is just an absolute mess up.
Yeah, and the storm has really slowed things up now on that southeastern corner. Teams are giving each other space. Nobody wants to overcommit to something just yet. Phase 6 hard shifts again up towards the north. Tai Lu, a couple of their players just left. LG is in a really nice position. They can keep things
jadi kayak nge-rap nih.
that western side of the circle. They've got some hills to work with. They've got a
Casternya maksud gua.
really good position, especially with that AWM play. Take advantage of their spot.
We got Cerberus down having to make some moves. Trade already getting into a bit of a bubble with him right now. And Cerberus just going to backstab right up on top of him. There's nothing they can do. It is just a perfect pitch. Loki now the last one up. Unless he can actually pick up a couple of kills out of it. I mean, high sack leading the way on one side of it. Non-looking into what's going on in the Space Station game. The remnants of those. Pixel had a big play coming out.
Pakai Famas ya.
I don't know, man. Dono's just got the high ground handle.
Jerok! Beuh, lo parah deh. Kakak. Ntar malam voting apa Evil? Evil 2 hari deh kayaknya guys. Sabtu Minggu ini kayaknya nggak ada voting dah. Coba top ID tuh belum.
Member of Cerberus, he must have not sure how in position he is to get that res. Actually, the guy can get rid of the vehicle and drive away. Flash on very little health, has to dash away from LG, feeling that pressure, seeing if he can take advantage of this timing window. Tycon heard it, sensed it, grenade from Emasu with the follow-up.
It's just going to be about control. How much can you maintain this with Phase holding it down over into the east, making sure to punish anybody that steps into the zone. LG now starting to exploit.
Ngomong-ngomong Genji masih terperosok ya. Budget sih lumayan ya naik terus. Ini twist ini juga bahaya loh dilihat ya. Nyalip tau.
Is going to be gone though in the long run. Tycon continues to harass Daytrade, finishes the job on the Buchel, and now things getting a little bit more dire for this team on the south side. LG with so much control, good shot from Tycon.
Never count out Tycon, man. This guy had the most ridiculous performance I have ever seen on the international stage. He's got friends with
Pembahasan soal Fandra yang berpaling kok gue ngerasa.
Keep in mind, they have some high ground to work with us. They're going to put some work into it. The circle does shift in order.
Emang iya bang? Aktif-aktif aja lu.
Tiamba has to start making moves and they're trying to backfill into phase, but instead it's actually Cerberus Hemas who has an angle. Luminosity as well, pouring fire down into Tiamba, finding tons of knocks, tons of damage. Sure, some crates come down, but that probably doesn't do too much for you.
More and more control just going into LG's favor. Spyro, though, still up over here. Have to keep an eye on him. As it is also going to be Cerberus just continuing their walk down this hillside. It's going to be James that does
itu nggak menyindir siapa tau bang. Sejujurnya.
Rexy, though, looks like he might be trying to backstab into this one, creeping up back. Just, I don't know if they
itu lebih kayak spender yang cuma sekali sebenarnya.
Rexy might have just bought enough time to keep himself in this game a little bit longer. I don't think he can get back to Fex. James is going to be flushed, so
yeah.
What do you do?
Lagian kalau nge-spamnya ke teman-teman kita juga, itu jatuhnya masih sama.
They jump out instantly, start going for the sprays into this one, and Cerberus just gets ripped to pieces.
Mungkin bedanya kalau misalnya ke yang kita nggak kenal gitu, bukan circle kita gitu ya.
Smashed right in the middle of this Tiamba formation. They're
looking
for DIY is just thinking maybe I should just tuck some stuns in. Finally accounted for.
Ulta tanggal 7 kan mas, aduh gue nggak hafal ulta. Kawan-kawan gue guys.
In between them and LG with the high ground, and it's gonna be.
Tapi Desember kan kalau nggak salah.
Oh boy. Tiamba, the fact that they're still in this game is extremely impressive. They were in a really bad spot, suffered a ton of knocks, and they are recovering nicely. They found a beautiful timing while Cerberus and FaZe were scraping it up.
Damage from mine, that was 700 and something.
Yeah, man, that all
kata BBN.
out damage real fast if you're hitting shots with it. Groza as well, I think he might have had one, and I think there might be 2 Grozas inside of LG potentially. I'm not exactly sure if they were just shuffling
sama kayak
around,
gua, sama-sama 7
or if in fact they have multiple, but
7 Desember,
still
bang.
very firm control of this. Tyloo still in that shack, just trying to play the patience.
HBD babangsat buat tanggal 7 ya.
Switches galore up at the top. Twisted Minds presently in first right now as they still have their solo up, but let's be honest, Spyro, man, there's a potential to pick up a couple more kills, but it is going to be a nail-biter for you to contend with. It's full-on authority coming down from LG, finally having to leave their hillside, but nobody wants to move into the circle. It's going to be all about the firefight before you get there.
And Twisted Minds now reaches into first place with this tremendous recovery game that they have. Zhao Yang not giving any opportunity for Lin Shu to get much information. Immediately puts him down with some poke damage. Continuing to do so. Now they're going to try to double up on him, but he's still just a little bit better. Smokes come out to cover that angle.
This is about it, right? I mean, it's both of these squads just trying to pick up some kill before the blue zone's going to hit them, and you can see they have not a lot else to work with right now. Spyro is going to be able to maybe exploit this one, but
Ceritanya kode
hasn't put
bang,
too much more in yet. It's going to be Snakers with that nade that lands right up on top of Tiamba.
Yeah, LG just keeps maintaining control over this western side. Snakers thought about trying to get involved, hoping that maybe there'd be a knock and he could steal some points potentially. Last smoke in the bag for Snakers in this situation.
Yang udah ulang tahun dipalak ya. Baju kegedean bang, oversize bang Pikri.
Looks like Tyloo wants to make the move in. Lots of smoke's going to be coming out for them. Lin Shu already back around there. You can see the fact that
oversize, oversize.
And this is why the fighting is going to be going on. Throwables look like that might roll down pretty close to a tongue move. And no, it is just going to be LG. They say no, we need the points. We need to get control. They just send it down into this rock.
Bisa
and
nggak
they already had complete authority on everything. This circle now just belongs entirely to them. There is nothing that they can't shoot.
Exactly. The blue
Nanti
is
mau
going to
main
help
apa
out
tuh?
as well. Beautifully
Evil,
timed
bang,
by
malam ini.
LG. Snakers getting the job done from up
Cuman
on
malam
top.
ini
The
minus
3-1
Nugi dah.
split working a treat, but
Nugi
Spyro still alive.
kondangan malam
Do
katanya.
not count him out. He is going to spot out Snakers. Exchange between them. Spyro with 2 HP. Gonna go down. Snakers clings to life. All 4 members up, and Luminosity takes it.
Things looking bright for Luminosity on McKendy. The masters of this map showing that they can get it done in big ways.
Dude, these guys just keep innovating. We've seen them fighting around the
LG nggak
bears.
gua
We
pick
still
lagi,
saw
guys.
them go with that gondola play. Now walking away with the Vikendi win. No shock at all. That was an extremely hazardous circle to navigate. And shout out to all the squads. Twisted Minds, though, as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Ingat mas personal JJ number 1.
Time and time again inside of that.
Ada
There's
JJ.
nothing else to say about that. Brilliant.
Siap
That
di
is all
personal
that
ya.
was from Twisted Minds. I mean, yeah, you lose a player early in a weird rotation. After that, the rest of the game was so well handled.
Well, this has been our last game for the day, but we still...
Kayak mana, Bit?
CM.
Cuam CM lo.
Ini mulai kupon kita mulai terkikis nih
Iya
mental
nih.
kita nih.
17 udah mulai goyah pondasinya nih.
Aduh.
Kok makin ke bawah gue liat nih pikan-pikan kita nih. Kayak mana?
Gua udah mulai ke Cuma 17
Kemarin masih
doang.
semangat gua ya kan. Masih pada di atas-atas, wis keren nih. Sekarang kok
Yoi.
makin sepi nih.
Sudah goyah ini mental ngeliat Twist lebih konsisten dia.
Iya loh, Twist nggak expect mah dia.
Expect sih sebenarnya, tapi nggak expect juara aja gua. Dia udah
Nggak.
pasti top 5 tapi nggak juara.
Belum juara maksudnya top rank lah ya.
Ya. Karena dia tim konsisten semua turnamen toh itu tim.
Semua turnamen tuh semua game maksudnya. Apa semua turnamen PUBG?
Semua turnamen. PGC tahun kemarin kan juga ini
Twist juga.
top 5 juga dia. Iya.
Kuda hitam berarti ya.
Dulu namanya VP.
Virtus Pro.
Iya, akuisisi kan.
Oh, pantesan gua nggak apa ya, kayak asing banget sama suaranya gitu. Suaranya.
Iya.
Sama namanya.
Nick namanya kan.
Kalau VP sih dari zaman dulu dong.
Enam kupon gue cuma 1 nih. Monyet lah.
Iya, kayak mana? Faje juga jadi
Kayak
lumayan
dua
lagi
sih.
mainnya. Gitu gua, kagak gua pick anjing. Tadi mau gua pick itu.
Gue ngepick Yanba pula. Nggak gue pick Twist
Nih,
ya kemarin.
gara-gara lu gua ngepick juga anjing. Yang 2 lagi
Lu
inget nggak
Yanba
lu?
juga.
Lah iya, 2 lagi apa ya Bit
Iya.
sisanya? Tianba sama apa ya?
NH.
NH, New Happy. Kalau
New
New
Happy
Happy
lagi
masih
bagus
oke
nih.
lah. Masih oke banget lah.
Ini Tianba nih, monyet nih. Kenapa dia nih?
Tahu-tahu jrok ke bawah.
Gue kira
Bareng Genji.
group stage.
Nggak ada backsound kah? Ada nih. Backsound.
And I mean, I think a
Nah,
story
tuh.
here is a lot of teams had a good
Backsound
way to go
komentator.
except LG. This was very home circle for them. They didn't have to do a lot of travel.
Right, and I thought LG was
Atau kalian mau ngasih backsound sendiri boleh guys.
7.7
Ya.
maybe kills, but they rounded up here.
They
don't-
8 kills.
I heard they don't round up. They're very
Hadapilah
honest. You gotta take honest.
jejak
you gotta be
ini.
honest.
Wow, look
And
at
as
the
far-
damage.
Mungkin
on
yang
that,
terbaik.
Look at that damage.
Crazy. Mime is so happy for that amount of
Empat,
damage.
tiga,
6
satu,
knocks
nol.
for him too. And a
8
little bit
dong.
more damage than Snakers. That's obviously huge. 6.
A bigger picture of the smile, please.
Yeah.
There
Man of the
it
match is
is.
Mime. And
Newest
this-
Damage
member,
800,
newest
newest
rajin
member,
deh.
of course. First time at a
LG
PGC
nih,
finals.
bos.
And this is big for him. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. He was dropped from the Sonics. They saw a better future with Kickstart. They dropped Mime. Mime even,
Mime
I
El
think it was a
Khabib.
joke, but said, I'm thinking about retiring. Found his home on Luminosity, and they
Emang
are playing
Khabib namanya.
incredibly well
Right.
here. This is a better fit.
And he will do
Karena
everything
berjenggotan
in his
kayak.
power possible
Semuanya
to
yang
let
berjenggot
you
Khabib.
bounce
Live
here
chat.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this grand final.
I mean, we did. I will say, we saw a revenge.
Ini
push
killsnya
early on
sih
our angle
agak
match. You
rata
can
ya,
tell there's a
match
little
ini.
bit of that you made a mistake
Nggak ada
noise
yang
mentality
mendominasi
that he's
banget.
got going
I
on.
like
And
that.
if that's what you
LG.
need to supercharge to a
18.
victory,
That's a motivation right
yes.
there.
Itu
go
kan
for it.
total
18 points for
ini.
LG, Twisted Minds walk
Eh,
away
8
with
iya,
Blue
bener.
at 10.
Paling
Killnya
nggak
rata.
ada.
Gonna do is
Under,
get us
Bang Pal.
to Twisted Minds strongly
Anjing, bedanya lumayan lagi 6
and
poin.
LG makes a surge up the boards
Good
to
to
third
see.
place.
Yeah, and we're
Danawa lu
Wih,
pick juga kan
anak.
Bit.
Iya, dan nama pick.
Yang happy Danawa 17. Udah sisanya underperform anjing.
Perform semua anjing.
Sonic, T-Pipe,
Oh, Anu
T-Pipe
happy
nih.
nih. Oh, iya,
Kemarin
bener.
bagus T-Pipe Bit.
Tahu nih. PGC tahun kemarin turnamen itu winner-winner. Tiba grand final jadi gini deh. Kalau Gen Gold udah nggak usah diragukan lagi, kita pasti bawah.
Toby and we are ready to take you into our final 3 games of the day.
Lagi demam pionya, dia lagi demam. Anang dapat kan Anang 400?
Habis habis dari rumah sakit, Bet. Tolong.
Wah, kena out dia Bang Opal.
Nice.
Kuat Anang.
Habis
Apa
cabut
Anang?
gigi.
Before last game, it
Waduh.
was top 2. We're at a 10-point lead on everybody, and now that's gone away again. So
Tenang kita, bro.
it still feels like no matter what you do, a game goes by, a team in the lower half or a couple of teams in the lower half try to make a push to catch up to everybody else.
Tego.
SQ apa kabar? Alhamdulillah rank 10.
Aduh.
Xnes makasih
Apakah
dari
kamu
join.
main ini map ini Mampal apa match 5?
Main kan all in kan nih
Di mana di map ini?
ya mau ngambil apa ya new happy lagi deh
Apa match 5?
enggak ini Tego
Kan udah tutup belum?
Danawa yang berapa, Bro?
Tego
Sering.
Bukan yang pick di Twitch ya?
Berapa 5 apa 6 tadi?
Aduh.
Apa toh?
Bukan pick yang di Twitch.
Bukan. Ini beda nih Bang Pak.
Agak beda ya.
Beda.
Agak aneh dia, agak aneh.
Wop.
dah
Babang.
NA lawan T-Pipe lagi
Oh, sudah yang kita masih aman, Bro. Twister.
Babangsat, makasih. Big Son-nya.
Kutukan juara Twister.
SKA.
NDX
AK. Tertak tak tak tak.
Ebo. Mana suara Ebo nih?
Anjing.
Udah sepi aja Ebo nih. Bo, pernah nggak Bo? Kabur deh.
Ahmad makasih 13 tahunnya ya.
Apa sih kita nih? Jadi janji.
Dia cita-citanya jadi jenderal. Terima kasih. 2 hari. Udah Pio, udah. Main di
Udah pusing,
tim
Pio.
kecil aja, lebih bagus kayaknya. Dia main di tim kecil.
Ayo, Pio, jaga anak, Pio.
Lagu pas acara komunitas pasti sering bawa lagu pemersatu ini. Ini gua kagak tahu lagunya, Bang. Kayaknya beda komunitas dah kita, Bang.
Innova. Bo novel all in. Apa novel all in?
Hal itu mana, Pak?
Up, itu dia yang dalam drop itu dia, Bo.
17.
Lawannya tuh di luar zona atas tuh lawannya tuh.
Ibai.
Ya. Lawannya 30.000.
Lu tim apa tuh?
Dapat
MRPX sama Evos ya, Persija Evos ya.
Aku ngomong dulu deh sebelum terlambat.
Gak usah, nanti aja bang. Bang, nanti jam 5 aja bang. Makannya nanti aja jam 5.
Feelnya kayak kondangan ya, lagi ributin ya.
Pokoknya tipis-tipis semua ya.
Iya, Ri. Itu Gengol juga
Baru seru nih.
tipis. Dia juga tipis hari.
Dia chicken 2 kali. Ini naik dia langsung.
Angel 2 kali itu besok. Saya nanti.
Kapan? Tahun depan.
Solo sini kan ngepost DG. Ya.
Lagu apa ini woi? Tanya Babang ya.
Namanya. Bawa beliin mic kopi lah.
Pasti judulnya ambilkan gelas sih ini.
Kemarin.
Gak mungkin bukan ambilkan gelas ya.
And I think that's also why last year became such a surprise when Nami came out and played the way because 17 count was such an absolutely insane stop and actually held the first place for a pretty good while too.
Ambil gelas doang, isinya kagak.
Hari kupon kita.
Bener.
Aduh, nggak bisa punya kupon.
Bahaya ini kupon kita ini hari.
Ambilkan gelas tanpa isinya. Makasih
Statement nih.
Bebang satu lagunya, walaupun gua gak tau ya.
Kutukan debit selalu top 5.
Isinya masih dibungkus plastik hitam.
Saya bilang sapi kalau
Sedotannya 2.
besok begini sih juara deh ya.
Waduh, jangan dong.
Itu dia.
Kita yang hancur.
Kita hancur. Tidak dapat EP deh.
Parah penontonnya.
6 kupon cuma satu nih dapat nih EP-nya nih. Cuma 17 doang.
Tenang, baru D2 bro.
Masih ada D3.
Masih ada D3, siapa tahu nggak ada yang kepik.
P7 tuh, P7.
P7 2 poin aja. Udah 3 game, 4 game.
List poinnya berapa aja Bit? Peringkat 1, 2, 3 gitu.
Dapat poinnya.
Ya, tahu nggak?
EP-nya
Kurang. Enggak.
Total harusnya 200.000 lebih ya. Anjing. Wih.
Emang bisa begitu. Gua kemarin nyari cara ini, Ri.
Makasih Bang Zitianba ya. Gitu Bit.
Gagal, Pak.
Kurang paten Pau.
Teams can help enable things throughout and do what it does best, but still.
Tapi speednya harus pas banget dong ya.
Yang kanan ya, yang kanan tadi.
Yang kanan tadi.
So many different plays they can pull
Oh,
off against any
begitu,
opponent, which is
guys.
why I think when they are full
Gitu
in the
dia
mid
ya.
to late game, they're so
Bentar,
scary
bentar,
mainly
bentar.
because they're so
Bentar,
unpredictable.
Tian,
Many
Bang.
other teams they have like the
Catat ya.
dedicated flank player, the dedicated peak player.
Oh.
But now let's take a look
Oh,
here.
Wah.
Kamu danger loh.
Drop.
Might just be punished.
Down 1.
Xiaowu will find the knock.
Anjing.
LZ not going down
Kagak di.
off of that, despite getting shot out of the air. He's still alive. He's still revivable.
Hampir.
Xiaowu actually going to get down before he gets taken out. They
deg-degan
Tailu
di sini.
immediately turning his attention
Well,
over. So
deg-degan.
Tailu getting a little bit of a benefit here.
Yeah, close enough to the ground.
Ayo, 17 yuk. Aduh.
It's only a knock, but
Wop,
Xiaobai now
dua,
finding
nice.
Tongmu as well. One of the heavy
Ilo
hitters of the
doang
team
lo, lawan
going
dulu,
down, of
masa
course. Shen and Xiaobai
kalah?
equally
able to go out and pull
Tapi
off
tetap
in
aja
same
Tilo
place,
masuk
but they've
PGC,
really gotta
Bit.
get that res up
Jadi-
fast and get into
Serem
essentially
juga.
surprise positions, 'cause right now they know exactly where
Lawan
they
Tilo
They gotta
dong.
be quick about it as well because you can
Harus
see
menang.
FaZe starting to creep in on the south side on your mini map.
Spray semuanya,
Spray
spray semua kena.
find the two
Berserak.
knocks again with a well-placed grenade, and now it is just
Tiga
down
ya?
to
Iya,
Shen. If you've
Waduh.
got one
Easy
player
win, easy win.
that you want to pin all your hopes
Waduh,
on,
waduh, waduh, waduh.
let it be Shen.
Dia ngejar
Dari
kanan.
mana
He
aja
doesn't
kamu
even have to
Dajjal?
waste time with this man. He wants to Panther Faust him
Saya
right in the face.
Main-main terus
As Little
kalah.
Ghost will flush out
Kalah.
those
5.000 tadi
knocks,
game
get
pertama,
credit for those
Pis.
kills.
Iya,
Shen
Lah, ada
lost
Paji.
lead,
Dia
and now
sebut
FaZe
nonton.
clan has arrived.
Interesting to see when
4.000,
they
400.
start shooting, how much info do they need before they take those shots? Teams with the
Sennya udah
focus will
sampai
get
situ.
that insta knock on a
Oh, ada
player that could be
Paji.
sick.
Drop.
Suju in
Anjing.
the middle of the open.
No.
Doesn't get the flush just yet. Second time around, no, not
Please,
this
please.
either, but now the info's been fed across. Only issue is
Hmm,
that we
kena
just
dong.
can't save this team.
Oh, sama Tilo,
You're
anjing.
at high ground, but you have
Ah,
not
HP
gotten
dia.
all
Ditolong,
the info
ditolong.
yet, and because of that,
Mati kok,
Shen
mati kok.
is the one
Cina sama
rewarded.
Cina nih,
17
bro.
will get the rest. FaZe was not
Nggak
ready
boleh
to make the
ikut-ikut.
play. I
Europe
love
nggak boleh
that
ikut.
great connection, but it
Apa?
held this fire for a little while
Berapa
longer
umur
there.
kau
The
sekarang?
team
Setan.
could have ambushed off of the knock coming
Oh,
through.
dia nanya umur.
Just do so.
Really
Berapa?
good work there by Shen. As
Ulang tahun
despite the
dia.
fact that he's
Bertahun.
been
Udah.
Ede bro Anang.
Waduh, waduh.
still keeping
ABD bro Anang.
for any
Kopi.
potential
23.
points.
Wah, makasih,
17
makasih.
now with
Kopi,
3,
kopi Anang, kopi.
and they
Tapi nggak bisa
managed to
ngomong nih.
hold off the push. Well, with the help
Dia
of
baru
Shen,
dapat
they hold off
gigi.
the push from
Apa
FaZe to get
lah?
Vex.
Langsung aja traktir
FaZe
J-Coin.
rather than the rest of the boys leaving this
Match 6 ya, match 6.
together. Mime gonna get spotted out by PO, so that's minus
Aduh,
3.
gacha. Udah habis, bro, kemarin, bro.
The player of the
Hati-hati,
game
bro.
last game.
Yep, you.
Iya.
I was just
Butuh
gonna
poin
say you
dia.
get a game with almost 1,000 damage. Second time around, PO sits behind the bush.
No good
There's
deed goes
just,
unpunished.
Exactly.
Hari kok ada
Can't
nggak
win
ada
them all,
announcement
and
dari
we'll see
RRQ?
if LG can
Waduh.
get something
Birthday,
going here on
maaf,
Tago. It was flat
salah ya.
yesterday on Tago that absolutely
Salah,
fucked
salah.
off. With
Deep tap tuh, deep tap.
kills in
Oh,
that
yeah.
match. We'll see if he can now go out and replicate that off of
Biasanya
the
kalau
knock of
ada
the
yang ulang
fallen
tahun
team.
playernya gitu
LG
deh.
was absolutely bananas playing
Di
out of
post
Buksan
IG.
Sa or BSS.
Oh,
as I decided to call
e-sport
it,
gitu ya.
play faster.
Ala-ala
And,
e-sport.
Iya.
now they're
Anang
heading
ya,
down that
Ricky.
way too, as it's
Iya.
the southernmost point. of
Langsung nggak sih
Octoramonth,
nunduk
Danawa.
dulu,
The
Ri?
rest of the boys coming in
Pakai HP.
from the east. Twisted Minds just off to their south. SSG in a 2-2 split
Aman
off to
aja.
the west in the hills. We'll see where Danawa decides to go. Looks like they're hugging the southern coast. And they are pulling very close here to Twisted Minds. Spyro and
Tapi serius
Perfectix in a
nanya,
perfect
PUBG
position
Mobile
here.
RRQ
Right next door
itu
they go. Lewis
ada.
sat on the southeast side. Actually, two
Ada.
of them are sat over there,
PUBG Mobile ada.
waiting for this
Iya.
push to come through.
Cuman nggak lolos aja kali ya?
Dulu PUBG PC
Iya.
We're in a
RRQ.
2-2 split. We don't
Maksud
have
gua
any
tahu.
good reason to get these
Oh, gua
guys
kira
close.
PUBG Mobile.
We'll keep them at a distance.
Iya, dulu PUBG PC, sekarang udah enggak.
Gua kira PUBG Mobile.
Emang RRQ dia serius dulu.
Early game Twisted Minds fighting is something you
Enggak,
rarely see
gua
because of this.
gua
They
tahu
would much
seriusnya,
rather
cuman
shoot
gua
early,
pikir
force
PUBG
them away,
Mobile
even
justru,
in-
bukan ya?
In a situation where they might have the upper
Anjing.
hand, there's just no reason to risk it.
Sumpah, gua tuh pernah denger ada yang ke PUBG Mobile selain Genpos ya.
Aco.
Ada, Voldemort.
Voldemort itu, Voldemort.
RRQ juga.
Itu yang punya RRQ dulu. Yang punya RRQ.
Will escape for now. They'll find a compound. They'll leave Soul downhill and off to the
Tahan
east just to
dia
make sure that
sekarang
nobody
tidak
comes to
bertahan
backfill
lagi.
them. But for now, playing it pretty close here as we see SSG just off to the east.
PUBG Mobile RRQ juara dunia 1 kali, 2 kali, tapi
That one is still not done with. Here we
Kelihatan
go,
nih.
seen on the other
Oh,
side.
no.
So
Itu
down
RRQ
to 1 HP,
Thailand yang
might
juara
have been on
dunia.
his own
RRQ
doing.
Thailand.
We'll see if anything's gonna happen off of Shin.
Iya.
They'll spot one.
2 kali
Siapa
si Athena di
Down to
Thailand
HP
ya.
as well.
Oh, beda RRQ dong ya.
Beda, beda.
Give him time. He's going to lay the smoke down, try to reposition. He sees the man with the grenade in hand.
Belum lah
Will
bos,
take
tadi kan
a few
ada Paze
shots
bos.
and save himself.
Pajinya tapi
Save his
masih di
life
situ
here
sih.
as he just
Kabur
keeps
udah ke
playing
terminal deh.
Dekat,
17
Pakai
in and
mobil.
out and around the columns here in Terminal 17.
Tilo.
Shawu, out in the middle of no man's land. He's going to spot out Shen, almost gets the
Emang
knock.
lincah banget
But
ini Ri,
these shots, I
bocil
mean, they're
malah
landed,
ini
but he's
Ri.
just
Iya,
not
Cok.
getting
Anjing kagak mau dimbat ya, kemana-mana ya.
Exactly, they need to trade this as fast as they can, even if one gets knocked. Be in a position
Susah
where you
dibunuh.
find a nice setup there, crossfire held.
Oh,
on the side of
akhirnya.
the Lils, and it will
Nice,
find him
Lil
in the end,
Ghost.
but it got scary.
Akhirnya
Again,
dapat
Shen
kill.
showing here that even though he's in a
Lil Ghost, let's
1v4
go.
against 17 of all
Jeez, man.
teams,
Micin dapat
Mission
kill.
1.
able
Yes,
to dish
Mission.
a lot of damage.
What a player this Shen is. That's That's the most dangerous death I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It felt
Patompong
like he
ku,
was
Cuk.
about to
Bau
take
banget
half the team
patompong.
down with him at any
RRQ
time. But
Kenbo, anjing Kenbo.
alas, Tai Lu is now
Iya,
out,
cadangan
and we
itu.
check in
Cadangan
with
RRQ Athena
Luminosity.
dulu,
Remember,
Thailand.
they did lose Mime early. Relo just
Sama kalau BTRRA
over
kan
here on the
Alice kan.
side.
Nah, kayak gitu
Maybe
kan.
taking a long range shot.
Kalau BTRRA apa?
Who is it that we have that's
Alice.
doing the E pickup?
Oh.
I'm not entirely sure. We
Nah, kalau
off
RRQ
in the
Athena
distance there.
kan.
Cerberus, well, they're in cars. They're fine.
Yeah.
Tapi
Sure
sempat
are
main
grabbing in
kan.
the western side, and this is where, I mean, if
Autena.
you really want to start keeping people at a distance too. You see Danoa coming in on the eastern side. They actually have
Autena
5
kayak
on the
pernah
very edge of the map feed coming in
Autena
towards the
apaan?
southern side too. Again,
Waduh,
these teams
PUBG
that when you
PC
get
deh
a
kayaknya.
hard shift in any given direction, they'll try and
Apa
fill
Aukarin?
the edge that's close to blue because they know that's where there's going to be
Aukarin
space
Rido.
available.
Iya,
That's
Aukarin
where
kayaknya dah.
these teams that like to play that wide split play style can really start gaining some advantages.
Anjing
See
keluar
Veronica
zone gini.
7, they were holding on to the north side of the river for as long as possible now, eating a little bit of blue damage as they make their
Dari
rotation
nomor
down
1
south. And
dia, nomor
Tiamba
7.
actually getting close here. They were
Dia
on
cuma
the south
2
side of the
poin,
river as well,
Bo.
but they
3
decided
game,
to try to go
Bo.
for a long
3
wrap, and I think they may hear the
poin.
vehicles, see
Siapa
the
yang 3 poin?
vehicles
They have to.
as
Bisa
yeah,
Evan
Pau
ini.
Oh
just
ini.
Dari 5-1 ke
hanging out on the edge,
5-3
but
aja.
Kemarin sih wangi ya.
Tiga game.
maybe onto this here, Glaz,
Dua
hopping out
kali
of the vehicle
chicken.
just
Oh,
briefly.
ini dapat nih
I
Tian
think
Pan.
Tiamba initially wanted to try and cut them off, but of course
No,
now
no, no.
realizing they were a bit too slow to the party. You can see Pavo actually caught off
Bisa
the
sih
edge.
di
They're
ujung
trying to
circle
get
nih kalau
that
ketemu nih.
angle, but again, just the pathing from V7.
Safe kali dia sekarang
Obviously
ini.
they must have realized.
Ya
too, they were
Allah,
off.
Beat,
How
Beat.
scary this vehicle
No.
does
Yang
not
bener,
look
Beat.
but able to get it
Lu
under
bener
control anyway.
nyusahin kawan
Oh,
ya
gue gantiin
kerjanya.
akhirnya. Nyoba-nyoba mortar di akhirnya.
Drop!
Pas,
pas.
They're just gonna hang out in the hard cover. As boy, they Sonics have that thing dialed in right now. Don't run around, New Happy.
Mungkin ada yang
Just hang
kena.
out.
They knew, they saw it in the air, and they're like, you know what? This building, while it might be small, looks very, very comfortable.
Lah, kata siapa,
right now,
Beat?
and that's what's keeping them
Drop.
alive, 'cause these
Oh,
shots would have been
Ada yang nakal keluar soalnya bro.
Well, you see the kill feed there.
Ya
Cerberus and
Ya
Tiamba squared off here. Two
ampun.
knocks initially.
Tian.
Going for a third. Has him right on the fence. ZYY.
Baru ditinggal
Trying to
bentar,
return
dua
a
kenok.
grenade right on top of him. It will fall just shy. As these back on the move, Pow holding the corner.
Hilang kata
Not
dia.
peeking just yet. The rest of Cerberus has arrived.
This fight has
Tujuh
come
kali
to
dalam
an
gudang
end
tuh
quickly,
kayaknya.
though.
Nggak ketahuan kah dia ke bawah?
They're trying to
Enggak,
stay
enggak.
control
Kawan harus nyari.
and really get up
Nggak
to
ketahuan ya?
Anjing,
Well,
bang
now
juga kawan.
down as well, just one more left
Bisa
to
di
get
bawahnya
out
nih.
for Cerberus as they actually get the circle
Nggak
off.
ditahu
If
ya.
they come out
Tian
victorious here,
Bai.
that would be huge for Cerberus.
Absolutely here is ZYY,
kagak
the last
ketahuan
player up.
apa
He's got Panzerfaust in the
Nggak
pocket just
ketahuan
in case the
tadi.
push comes through from Cerberus. Rest of his
Oh, di
players
revoke
have
ya.
arrived in, so
Let's
Cerberus
go,
should
blok satu.
have an
Let's go,
idea.
Tian
Tyco's
Baku.
going down
Bah,
ahead.
bangun
Tian
dua,
Baku.
bangun dua
That's
tuh.
going to put a wrinkle in the plans
Yeah,
here of
yeah.
Cerberus as
Oh,
V7, as you
Kaisaki.
mentioned, perfectly
Kaisaki.
positioned to third party this fight.
Has to now commit 1-0 to try and get the rest on up. You had Tycon in a solo position at 7-7. Finds Kaisaki as well. What looks so
Instan dia,
promising
instan.
falls apart
Terculik,
by the second.
Dek.
As once again the solo plays are being made, and not only that, but he
Please,
gets
D2 naik lah
7-7
ke
on his
top
feet
10
too,
lah.
and he might actually also
At least
be
lah.
able to get Lin Shu up.
The Panzerfaust lobby back on display as now Lin Shu should get on his feet. Meanwhile, over here we've got
Ya
DG98
Allah.
taking out Xiao Wu. Gen G will now get
Tiba-tiba
traded.
Gen G.
Lihat
Lihat view-nya itu.
Some Jag in perfect spot though. Can he get two? No, Lil Ghost will win that 1v1 by just a fraction of HP.
They win it, but they're torn down.
Sekalinya
immediately.
naik, ngebegal yang
Perfect
atas,
third party
bangsat
opportunity.
Gen G nih.
Now pushing on forward, you can see
Oh,
TG
they're
and
running.
PU
Opa.
realizing, oh no, we gotta get out of here, we gotta get out of here. But it looks like Mexico's on the hunt.
Gen G doing the lobby a favor there by taking care of 17, but no good deed goes unpunished yet again. As we said, Petrichor Road in perfect position here. Gen G, PO still running around. DG98 though, trying to see if he can maybe use PO as a distraction. PO though has found a place to play. To call
Airfield
home to
Jig,
heal
malam
up,
ini,
at
Jig.
least for now. But you got to imagine Petrichor Road is not going to stand for this
Anak-anak
duo.
pada
Oh, no,
Evil,
when you
besok
do it
Evil
kind of- when you
juga.
try and cut off a rotation
Pasti
like this, you're not
lu mau
doing it to
ngajakin
just sit around
CS
and
kan?
wait them out. You're doing it to like
Lu pengen 20.000 kan,
as you can
jujur?
see,
Gas
now they
lah.
don't know that space station is coming in on the eastern side, but if they clear Gen G here, they have all the room in the
Pasti
world
menang
to make
soalnya katanya.
rotations coming off of this.
Indeed they do.
Cuman nggak tahu kalau paginya Jik ya.
Have 48 alive
Jam 2-an
at
gitu kayak
15
bisa
minutes,
jadi
two
CS
teams
3 game.
Clearin.
Twisted Minds on the high ground in
datang
dead
dia.
center, and here comes the push from Petrichor. They're sending him 2-2 just to make sure that
Summer Ari
they
ini di sini.
can do
Apakah dia
win the
nge-kill
peak
Summer
battle
Ari?
here as Summer just feeding information over to the boys.
Drop,
DG98 is
drop.
gonna try to hold one. He won't even get one. As Ike's left will
Bye-bye,
wipe him, and now
Pio.
Pio, he's got an
Goodbye.
angle here. I think they figured
Baru
out where he
dapat
is. Doesn't
kill.
matter.
Oh.
We'll finish him off with the Og, and that's Petrichor Road
Kasian
eliminated.
banget Jen
Decisive plays
Or
being
Genji,
made
rather,
there.
I'm sorry.
3 guys pushing
Tapi
on
bisa-bisanya
forward,
dia
clearing
begalin
them
17
out. And as
anjing.
you said, Petrichor rewarded with the kills there as Genji falling 14.
Ina number
5
1.
kills now for Petrichor Road as well. As
Gila,
they
17
needed a little bit
yan,
of assistance here in the leaderboard. Everybody could stand to gain a few more points, and the fact
Tim
that
Cina
17
siapa aja ya,
is
Bit?
already out definitely
17
opens up a
Pero,
door here as
Tianba.
we see what got this whole thing started. DG98 gets
Satu
pulled
lagi.
up on and absolutely
Apa, 3 doang?
embarrasses 17 there.
17 Pero,
As we
Tianba
see
4. Nggak bisa tuh.
Lil Ghost was the last one alive, and Songjang
For AM
does
turu.
go
Tilo.
down, but immediately
Tio.
traded back.
They all went down.
Tilo.
They all went
Tilo.
Except for Petrichor.
Kira for
Managed to
AM
live
lagi
through
kan.
it. Him as now in the meantime trying to
Tidak
stay
lolos
alive
dia.
too, of course, well aware that he's sharing this compound with Chiamba. Issue is they all
Jangan
have
17,
to make
NH,
moves.
Pero,
Chiamba
Tilo,
already now
4.
starting to move towards the circle. They've sent Linshu across the road. Of course, they lose Pow Pow, a big fragger for their up close
Pow.
fighting kind of
Lagi dia
possibilities.
bertiga.
So I think him as what he's going to do is just wait this one out.
Oh
Say,
iya,
I'll
main
take
H,
blue,
5
I'll be the
bener.
last mover. Maybe I can find
NH
one worst
apa
case I
itu?
can deny.
Whole lot of mountain in the middle of this
Oh,
zone.
yeah.
Beckham pilih siapa tuh? Pilih 6 saya bang. 17 Danawa.
The only real compound, I
New
believe, inside.
Happy.
And still a number of teams still making their way in.
Sonic,
SSG and
Tian
Petrichor, though,
T5.
that seems to be
Itu ya.
the one to keep an eye on.
Alhamdulillah.
as Both teams fully aware of each other. As the knock
Alhamdulillah,
comes
kayaknya
through
gua
on
harus
Sharp
picknya
Shot.
turu dah, bukan
Now
T5
Roth
nih.
has spotted out Chewy out in the distance. Takes a few
Itu
shots, but
bagus
not
loh.
going to
Tahu
stick
lagi
around to
bawahnya
get the return
D3
fire.
That's a really important
Tiga ya.
knock for Mike's left as well. They have to
Tiga,
keep
top
their heads
three
on a
dia
swivel
langsung.
here now. I mean, as you can see,
Apa ini
PlayStation were
chicken
kind of
kayak
setting
nih?
up this ambush. But
Langsung
because they
nih.
get caught, essentially
Chicken,
out in
bro.
the open on their way to do the setup proper, they now have to try and fall back, and they're in awful positions to disengage.
Chicken D5
Oh, and
opal
all their
rongkat, bro.
flankers have been spotted too. Pixel now, they know exactly where he is. As Sharp Shot will go and try to provide some support with that Dragunov. Summer though,
T5
he's got
bagus
him
padahal
keyed
Bit di
in.
ringkat ya.
New Happy was trying to third party this fight, Toby, from the from the west rather, but Sonic's
gitu,
taking
Bang.
shots into their back once
Gua mana
again has
ngepick
kept them
Pak
honest.
Pompong
Meanwhile,
lagi di
Vex
Fantasi.
and FaZe and the boys,
Pom-
they have
Pom-
tried to find a spot. But here comes the push from Twisted Minds. No res will come through on effects, and now it is all down to Gustav. Correctly
dapat hari
off
ini,
in
Cok.
the distance here.
Tidak dapat
Tulins playing the high side. Will
Aduh,
find
salah
it.
pick di itu,
That'll be a
Bang.
second knock and should be
Ya,
2
Tulin yang
points.
ngepus
for
malah.
Twisted
Again,
Minds.
it's Batulins taking matters into his own hand. Usually
Berarti
he'll be the
udah
one trying to
kali
send his
Batulin ini.
troops forward, do the back.
gampang lagi dua-duanya.
And 7-7 creeps around.
Ini kenapa
Minion
Paje
hand.
kayak ade-adean?
Aims to take 2 away, so what could be points rewarded to
Apa
Twisted
twistnya yang
Minds.
lagi
It's gonna
menggila ya?
go the way of Tianba.
Absolute thievery from Tiamba there. As
Tadi di
Twisted
steal
Minds,
kill
I
ya?
don't think they realized that
Iya,
anybody
iya,
else had
sama
any angle on
Tian.
it. So 2
7-7.
points
Oh,
right
wow.
out of the pocket of Batulins. As we cut back to Petrichor Road, trying to push into Space Station. You see
Yes,
New
gitu,
Happy
Pero.
have made their way across the street
Iya,
as
X-Live ini
well.
patut
They're
nikah
kind of
ini
being
lah,
shepherded
X-Live,
by Sonics into
Ngekill
Dan
mulu
Nawa
dari
fight,
Esport
whether
pakai
they
nama
like to
tim-tim
like it or
dari
not.
Indo.
Everyone knows
Pandawa
this is
kali bang.
third-party territory. If we initiate a fight,
Pandawa
it could deal
Esport.
with it instantly.
Pandawa
We are
punya ini
going
kan
to get
Baimo
third party.
kan?
That's where you see teams kind of hold off on taking fights. They wait until they've seen at least
Iya,
3
tahu kan
to then go and make an
Emang
aggressive
iya.
play. Everyone's trying to play safe for as long
Ada
as they
Baimo
possibly
punya
can here.
ekspor.
Pandawara.
He'll be
Tiga
lighting up a little
pendekar
bit.
atau Pandawa?
The
Pendekar
same
nggak
fight
sih?
is occurring
Oh,
on the
pendekar ya?
south side.
Pendekar
Here we
apa
go.
ya?
Kalau
Slow
Pandawa
action
sih yang
is
viral
Veronica
bersihin sampah,
7.
Bit.
We're getting pushed
Pandawara.
by Dala right into
Iya, iya,
Tiamba, and Tiamba
Wah, si
benefiting
Seven
from
rata
it.
lagi.
ZYY will get the knocks, will get the flushes with some well-placed grenades. 7 kills
Berarti Tian nih.
for Tiamba, Toby.
Tian nih.
Action commencing on the southern side.
Sungai, Bang.
West is starting to pop off as well. Again, this Petrichor and Space Station gaming fight has been brewing for a while.
77
now.
Owo dibacanya Jowo, betul bang.
Page down, Sharp shut down as well.
Pasti
Pixel
babangsat,
able to
kan?
find one in
Iya.
return, but they still
Nyoba
have
lagi,
enough
nyoba
goals to do
lagi.
that.
Tadi
Ngetry dia,
Udah.
ngetry.
Come through, Pixel
Ngetry lagi deh,
has
kalau
pulled
dia.
back, he's blinded just a little bit, 30 HP. Roth will try to
Dia
find
kalau udah
a
punchline
little
suka
bit of
dicopas.
assistance here. Ming though will find Pixel. Roth will find Ike's left, and they can't get him through the smoke. Ming now 1v1 versus Roth. He's getting fed that information over from Pixel. He's got a grenade in hand. He knows exactly where he is.
Quick reaction plays, but look at this again. Fights that are taking too long will be punished. all of New Happy is backfilling this, and they're finding flushes all over the place. Ming, solid spray comes through, finds Page in the end. That's going to be them all down. But here is New Happy, and they are being backfilled by Sonics as well.
Beautiful spray from Ming will finish on Space Station. The explosion will get him low, but it won't be enough to take him out. Petrichor Road already sitting on 9 kills. They'll be happy despite the fact that they go out in 10th place.
And you see it as soon as that flush comes through, they instantly 180 all of them. They knew that they had Sonics nearby. They know
Mas Jowo guys down satu.
to make. That's gotta be this one. They're now ready for it. So important that they get to clear that fight and now reset for this Sonics fight to come.
Kalah kan lawan Sonic NH.
So far from NH. Sonics are trying to figure out where these guys are. Tiggleton will spot him, but he's playing the low side. Does have to be very careful as Non is in perfect position to take advantage. Gets the knock to open things up.
Great off angle, instantly falls back again. Got to keep the element of surprise in your favor. H-Win can't get eyes on Non. Trying to get the flush. Tiggleton early on here. They find Kickstart as well at this. This is going the way of New Haven. I think they're going to make an aggressive play off for this time too.
Anjing itu banyak banget.
Actually stealing that one away as we see Theraton 5 getting eliminated by
Let's go, Seoul.
And Twisted Minds taking care of Tiamba as fights going on all over
Di
the
pipe
map right now.
makin
So far,
drop ke
not
bawah
a
kita
single
lihat.
knock onto New Happy as Sonics are just struggling to survive. They're
pun
down to
kena
Trinity, they're down to
ganggu.
nobody. Correxy stealing one away.
And it's a solo phase player that applies the pressure, essentially helping New Happy here. They know because shots are coming in from behind that Sonics are feeling forced, feeling pressured to make an aggressive play, and they're just
SSG
sitting back and
dibaca
waiting
SSG.
for them to make small mistakes. Pico Ridge when normally they
Nentuin
would,
lu.
but Correx's pressure from that southwest side
kemarin
forces
bagus
them to
SSG,
make
man.
kind of hasted decisions that in the end just massively
Ya, kalau
rewards
pokoknya
both
hidup sendiri
Corexy
bagus.
and New Happy.
Bagus.
Kalau hidup
New
sendiri
Happy
bagus
not even
mereka.
taking a knock on that
Hidup
one as
berdepan
Linshu will
meninggal.
get spotted out by Salute. That'll be Tiamba down in 7th as we wait and see
Waduh,
where the
udah
circle
awal,
is going to
chicken
go.
down.
Give it to Twisted
Masa
Minds
twist
as
lagi
they have
sih.
3 up, 4 up. Perfectix holding down the northeastern
kena
side.
satu.
Correxy
Kalau di
again
awal.
for FaZe
Aduh,
finds
dan
another
aku nggak
knock.
tahu kalau dia kena
Is
atasnya.
the meat shield of Twisted Minds these days. You're seeing him knocked all the time, but
Bunuh
somehow
ini
he
Twist,
makes
Cok.
it into the late game regardless. Twisted Minds so
Twist
good
tengah dia
at keeping
susah.
their 4 guys
Ini belum ada
alive
voting
once
nih,
they
gua lagi
make
mau
mid
voting nih.
to end game. That's
Shit,
why I
man.
keep talking about them in the earlier stages of the tournament. Them losing
Voting
players
point.
early on,
Twist,
they can't
Cok.
afford it because their playstyle is
nggak
so
ada sih
heavily
predik-predik
dependent on all 4 making it into at least
man.
phase 4, phase 5.
Well, down south, Donawa still 4 up as well. And they see LG off in the distance making their way in. Only 3 alive for LG, but they have a little bit of real estate to work with, although they do have a 4-man day trade that have left their compound. They're getting involved in this game finally now. 0 kills for them. Day trades stand to gain a lot in this game if they can take control
Iya,
over
jadi
that eastern
Evil
side.
nanti
Maybe
malam, Jik.
force
Lu mau ikut nggak, Jik, Evil?
over here towards the center, maybe get some points
Kebetulan
for themselves.
katanya
New
JJ
Happy now
nggak
starting to make their way in
nggak
from the north,
jadi,
though.
jadi minus 1 sih, apa minus 2
very
gitu.
effective at keeping teams at a distance. So the south has been hectic, the north and the west has been hectic, but the east has been
Tapi kalau
quiet for the most
tiba-tiba
part, hence
karena JJ
their
nggak ikut, ada yang nggak ikut
current lack
juga,
of kills,
bisa
I
jadi
suppose we can say, but
kalau
I'm
kurang
sure
dari
if they get something
10
going here, they
misalkan
should be able to
ber-9
rack up
kita
quite a
coba
few of them with
di-CI.
20 still alive.
Tapi
New
ya
Happy
nanti
grouping
kita lihat
up.
dulu ya
They've got
kan.
December 12th pinned down at a rock, but
Bro.
that might be the distraction that New Happy needs
Yeah.
to get everybody right on the
Bukan, jadi
doorstep
kelirin
here
sama
of
Twist,
day
Cok.
trade. Now Bellmouth and Nurans
Nugi
right
juga
on
skip
top of each
ya,
other.
ya.
Flash
Nugi lagi skip
has a
hari ini.
side angle here,
Kalau
but is
besok
not
bisa
going to
dia.
spot out anybody. As you can see on that mini map, it's just not finding the angles here. Meanwhile, Donawa going to turn their attention away from LG and back over towards
Polisi
Twisted
Korea,
Minds as we get a
polisi Korea.
replay of what Soul and the rest of the boys were able to do to T5.
Plus main
You can see in the
kapan,
northern
ah?
side here, the
Deepless.
best fight is the fight you don't have
Deepless
to
apa, guys?
initiate yourself. Both New Happy and LG waiting to say, please just start fighting day trade. We know they're in between us. Just take the fight so we can get the third party opportunity. But no one biting, no one wanting to be that initiating team to fight it because they know that it comes with a disadvantage when you have a team right behind you as well. They have to make the play here though. There's no time to do.
They try to send the grenade over. They don't have a very good read on
Evil Cakcop udah
New
install
Happy
belum ya?
split
Belum
here.
beli
Just
katanya.
no angles
Tapi nanti
to
mau
find,
langsung beli download
as,
katanya.
they've only got 3 up on this northern
Gua
side.
takut
They
diskonnya
really
udah
push
beres aja sih
Puchels
sebenarnya.
down towards the south to make sure that they don't get backfilled by anybody.
Yeah.
The most likely candidate right now would be LG. Meanwhile, Donawa, they're just going to completely control the south side. They're not moving. Twisted Minds, they're not moving. So Really, it's just a dance here between Day Trade and New Happy.
It really is. The hesitation
bilang
for
ini
all
slot
these teams to
cepet-cepetan
want
aja.
to get aggressive
Jangan,
play is
nanti
just
poinnya
playing
makin
into the
jauh.
benefit of like Twisted Minds. They have the
Booking nggak sih?
entire center circle under their control. They're pretty much limiting the space that all these edge teams have to work with. Circle now south. There's Danoa, very pleased with
Hancur
that.
nih
But
harusnya
again, you can
Twist
see here, New Happy,
Hancur nih
Day
harusnya.
Trade and Luminosity, none of them wanting
Pada
to
nggak
initiate
circle
this
nih.
fight, hoping that just
Wah,
by showing
perfectnya.
presence, they can
Ada
just push
mobil
that
ternyata.
team
Papua
over
mau
to the
main
other side so
Eiffel,
they can
guys.
force the fights between them.
This is definitely going to be a game of chicken here. It looks like New
Booking
Happy.
slot.
They don't even want to take it with Day Trade right now. They just can't find the angles. The terrain just not working out for them. So instead, they're going to wrap around to the west. Now, keep in mind, Twisted
Apa
Minds
yang
has
salah
kind of
info
been
ya,
pushed
katanya
down. They
Deepest main
have
di
this little
PGC.
ridge line to work with, and they know the danger of that
Beat,
solo
lu tahu
player
tim
Corexia
Deepest
off in
nggak,
the
Beat?
distance. Meanwhile, Luminosity, they're going to take
Deepest.
advantage of this. Immediately find Day
Iya,
Trade.
iya.
And look at that,
Iya,
New Happy
iya.
immediately throws
Nggak
the
lolos kan
under
ya
on
dia?
this. They are sending it right
Nggak
back
lolos.
over here to see
Nggak
if they can
lolos,
take
guys.
out Day Trade.
Exactly. New
qualifier
Hampshire so
kali.
good at initiating these third-party opportunities.
Gila,
They
ada
come over the
gantian.
hills, and Snakers though will be the one to find one. Will he find the second as well? Almost takes
Ayo,
down
NH,
Norins.
gas.
But Norins is still alive. CC's up close, but they got the knock onto December 12th. So now got to figure: do we continue the aggression here, or has LG done enough damage so we can just safely get the rest and play it a little bit further down behind?
And LG smartly, I think, reading that situation, not over pushing. They got their kills, they got their flushes. Norins, there you go. CC will get that one. And that'll be a 6 kill now for New Happy. As LG, as we were saying, immediately after they got those knocks and flushes onto Day Trade, they knew the situation. They pulled back down south. They didn't try to get green, so they went back to their safe space. And now we see where New Happy is. They're just going to send it right back in.
Masih nyawa. Ya Allah, berempat lagi.
They're finding shots, sending them. Gonna get one knock. There you go. December 12th will go down. Spiro will immediately flush that.
Jangan dia.
Doesn't get the
Oke,
flush.
aman masih revive.
Rip.
Make it work for Nonix on the backside of this. This was why Twisted pushed left. They knew they had Danoa to hold their eastern flank. But Nonix with one nade locked on over. Takes down all the takes on Twisted Minds.
Nice.
Here in the late
Ayo,
game.
Danawa,
Mr.
NH, go to
control
the moon.
complete southern side
Ya,
as they
dua-duanya
take
bikin
another
kita.
shot over towards Twisted Minds. New Happy trying to
Let's
return
go.
fire as
NH
well.
Danawa.
Twisted
Ayo,
just being the
Twist, mati
unfortunately
aja.
for them, they are just sandwiched in between both as the grenades keep coming on. The flashbang, nice.
Bom bang itu bang, enak mati bom itu.
Not sure what kind of utility
Padahal
that
mereka
was
nggak
left sitting
bom aja
on,
sih.
but they will not push any farther than they have
enak
now.
posisinya Twisted dong kalau begini.
Gak ada Navi juara PGC tahun lalu. Navi lagi bikin super bubur bang. Nyantai dia. Udahlah tahun depan lagi gitu ya.
PGS.
That they can literally just prone down and somehow New Happy and Danoa off of the positions they're in will force fights between one another for them to then
Hanya cuman gitu doang loh padahal.
Drop!
Gitu doang bomnya.
Iya.
Perfect.
Sesimpel gitu.
Beautiful grenade. As now Inonix finding the angle on the New Happy, but Tulin's going to get the knock on the Soul. Let's see what New Happy does. Yeah, immediately start wrapping down to the south on this eastern side of the zone. But then they pull back. Okay, they didn't like it. Looks like Twisted Minds, though. They're going to take advantage of this situation.
Again, it's Twisted Minds trying to keep
nggak bisa,
teams at a
nggak bisa,
distance,
nggak
but I'm
bisa.
liking the setup that Danoa's got going here, because they know, again, understand where your weak points are.
Mereka
Loki,
dua
salute
orang
instantly takes down Lou.
Beautiful shot
Dua
from
orang jaga
Salute.
satu tim,
As now
Cok.
that's
Di
2
Danawa.
knocks. And neither one is going to get punished here, really. It looks like Soul and Inonix still holding on that eastern side, making sure that New Happy doesn't crash down on top of them, and it
Discordnya
works.
rame nih, Ri.
Loki making sure that Twisted doesn't have any
Dua-dua
ideas
soalnya,
of their
nge-split mereka
own
ini.
on the western side. Salute, meanwhile, just
Apapun
looking
ya.
for somebody's perfectix. Will find Loki, gets the knock. Can he get the flush as well? But Tulins will do it for him.
One of the things that makes it so difficult is that all four players
Twisted
of
nih.
all these teams that we're seeing here are so insanely good at clutching wins when it matters most. So this really is a masterclass of how to try and bring home a way too high populated endgame circle.
December 12th being the tip of the spear
Enak ini,
here for New
enak,
Happy
enak.
as they push right into Donovan, but Soul
Aduh.
spot. CC108 goes
Menang
as
dia,
well,
Cok.
Itu
and
tembak, Nan.
Soul just destroys New Happy.
Itu langsung knock beat, suruh tembak.
finds the double and there's no
Tembak
response
buka ya.
on it again. Twisted Minds wants to make plays, but
Dapat
when plays
itu.
come through from Donovan, they happen so
Malah
fast.
twist
that
yang
there's no
ini
play to
dong,
be made.
sapu-sapu nih.
Salute on the bottom side, making sure that the backfill doesn't come from Twisted Minds.
Aduh,
Looks like he's
jangan
been
kena
spotted.
bomba. Ya elah,
They will
drop.
spot him. They will get the knock, but Tulins will be the one that does it, and now it's just down to 2 for Dono, where they are pinned up against the
Mati zone.
southeastern side of the zone.
Oh, masih ada
Ming and Nan pinned up against the northeastern side of the zone. Twisted Minds 4 up, and it's their game to
Twisted
lose.
Minds.
Not sure how
Twisted
Anonix got to
Mind.
live through that spray there, but happy that it did. Now more
Wah,
shots coming
anjing.
through as Ming finds Anonix through the smoke, but it's tagged down in return.
Gila,
Soul
Theo.
able to find the double,
Rata nasi,
continuing.
Soul.
Now it's 6 kills, but he's in a 1v4. It would take
Jangan
a
nyampah nggak sih?
miracle to
Anonix
bring
gua
it
jangan
over.
nyampah.
Habis.
Zero
Habis,
points to
Bang.
work, and he will deny. What a game,
Pelornya
what a finish, and what a
habis.
win
Gila,
by Twisted
Twist.
Minds.
The name of the game is to survive, and that is exactly what Twisted
Perasaan
Minds
tadi
did.
Twist yang di
Every knock
terparty
they
nya.
got, they managed to hold off the push. Every knock that they managed to
Alalala.
get a revive on kept them in this 4 men up at the end.
Masih
And
beda
it
tipis.
was just a matter
Masih
of
beda
the
tipis,
raid
aman.
boss.
Sama
Pak
Denawa ya.
Tompong gua besok gua
Pak
ganti hari.
Tompong.
Had to go down to the blue.
Pak Tompong saya. Rusak ini Pak Tompong ini udah.
Tompong Pak Tompong.
Aduh, buffering.
Buffering bang, sama bang.
Oh, udah.
Fifth non-stop, but they're playing, waiting for that perfect game, and here it came. It was hard when they wrapped West Down.
Ya, lagi ya.
But Twisted Minds able to
Oh iya.
regardless.
Aduh. Fantasi gua nggak pernah bener
Pak
dah.
Tompong.
Fantasi ini. Gimana sih? 2000 mulu gua. Iya.
NH we trust.
Iya. Hampir aja kamu tadi udah deg-degan kan kamu kan? Nih.
Wah, gua mana ada aku
Dia
deg-degan.
mati awal.
Kan aku lagi makan.
Ada.
Saatnya kita login kembali.
Kis. Login
Inilah
saatnya kita
dia.
bang. Inilah dia peperangan
Inilah
sesungguhnya.
dia. Si jali-jali.
Twist jagonya dari cheese kalau nggak ada napi.
Mau lebih terungkat
Apa
masih
ya,
ada
Bang?
D3 bro.
Yeah, what a fantastic day of the start here for them overall. Third, second. and
Wih,
what a
prepare match
crazy
11 nggak sih?
opening in terminal as well, right? You
Udah
have
ada login
7
semua ini
teams
bro.
absolutely ready. Teams with a
Ada yang sempat dapat lagi nggak kemarin?
camera live on
Nggak ada.
Twitch and everywhere else around the
PUBG
world.
itu kan?
Both
Apa lambda apa sih?
these,
Iya,
circles
itulah.
where the terrain is just perfect for like herding and
Jangan di share lagi. Lebih banyak nanti orang. Sulit
Soalnya-
dapatnya.
Soalnya ada di ini di rekomendasi channel.
They're moving around
Betul.
as the circle gets smaller and smaller. Like we're losing linearly a team or 2 at a time, right, per circle. So it's just super cool to see how these guys are moving around. And unexpected.
Kupon aku kan 17 Sonic sama 17 Danawa. Ayo dong.
Ada T3 bang. Masih
Ayo
aman-aman.
coba aku pilih Sonic.
Ah,
Harusnya
lu
kan
lebih
aku
Sonic.
China Pride.
Iya. Udah Nawa Korea Pride.
Ini dia nih bom haram.
Then they loop up and they start working the outside of the circle. They push up one side, they clean it. They push across the other, and they were helped a little bit by the fact that Soul went into absolute monster mode. and cleared one half of the circle.
Ngepik twist mana twist? 29.000 aja.
Terus ini tim mana?
Twist Europe.
Iya, maksud gua
Negara.
Hah?
Oh nggak tahu gua. Kayak campuran tahu gua deh twist deh.
Oh iya.
Rusia dia tetap. Ah ya Rusia sama Ukraine.
Rusia sama Ukraine.
Iya. Batulin lu Rusia perfect sama Spyro Ukraine.
Oh, kalau di game
Lokasi
aman
Saudi,
ya.
Arabia, ambil
Zi,
Saudi
makasih
Arabia
4 bulannya.
dia. Lokasi tim
Saya itu nggak bisa bayar
Rusia
pakai
ini
M-banking
Saudi
atau
Arabia deh.
kurang tahu sih. Kalau ada QRIS bisa harusnya. Nanti live-nya PUBG tuh. Iya ya di Evil tapi ya. Anjing Twitch cuman 5 kill anjing.
Iya 5 kill karena mereka nggak dapet apa-apa tadi tuh. Dapat circle doang.
Dapat lawan Faze doang dia.
Nih PGC 2021 juara 3 tuh. PGC 2022 rank 3 lagi.
Oh gitu. Stabil ya.
Banget ya. Iya.
Berarti ini PGJ 2023 rank 3 juga dong. Pas.
Jangan di bawah 3 kalau bisa.
Oh iya benar. Biar pikan kita yang di atas ya.
Lebih banyak ya, EP-nya biar lebih banyak bonusnya.
Anjing kalah anjing sama Danawa.
Sedih banget sih mereka kalau masih rank 3 lagi.
Minimal rank 4 lah kan.
Beda jauh juga nih bro, 11 poin. Ini 12
Nah,
lagi, 12 poin.
udah ada duluan.
Lah di liquid tadi ya?
Oh, nah. Anjing ya. 11 poin.
11 beda 11 poin.
Kemarin sih seru, bedanya 1-1-1 gitu ya kan. Sekarang mulai kelihatan nih perbedaan kastanya nih.
Ayo tusun satu tim, let's go.
At least masih punya Danawa 17 sama NH kita beat. Ya kan?
Betul.
Main lah.
Iya, top 10.
Kata Kopet di stream OC bilang DCIT MASDOG today bukan Evil. Kurang lebih lah. Kalau misalkan bersembilan yang gue bilang tadi bisa DCIT. Morbid ini nggak mau diajak game-game lain guys. Apa ya?
Nggak punya kalau game-game itu.
Kemarin game-game diskon soalnya bit 40.000 harganya.
Game apa?
Evil 105.000 kan. Diskon dia 60%. Jadi 40. Nggak tahu sekarang udah balik kali. Oh kalau kata Idris sih, Idris kan kompe. Idris Morbid kan kompe bit katanya. Ini King yang ngomong ya.
Nggak ada duitnya untuk beli gamenya bang.
Tuh langsung nggak sih guys?
Game bayar nggak ada duitnya. Cuman bisa ikut gus dak doang itu udah game gratis.
Sama Pamel ada lu tapi nggak mau.
Pamel tuh mana ada main Pamel lagi kalian?
Lah ada.
Main itu mulu tuh Evil sama apa itu?
DCIT.
DCIT, VSIT kan gua.
VSIT sih.
Evok. Apa? Lagi ngapain sih kamu? Cuci muka.
Kode.
Cuci muka aja langsung.
Match 11 nih.
PC-nya juga ngeri juga. Itu kemarin di ini dia di Europe.
Bali lagi anak-anak yang hilang, Bo.
Balikan anak-anak hilang.
Tuh, belum masuk sini saldonya nih, aduh.
Mau menang 17 Opa.
Kok siapa yang ngapik 17? Aku kan Ming Pride.
Oh iya dia NH tadi kukira 17 abang.
Oh udah nggak ada diskon. Oh shit. Diskon berakhir. Berarti cakcop udah harga normal ya 105.000 ya?
1.400 aja.
Caken
Aku
noy.
masang match terakhir nih.
Ya nanti kalau misalkan bersepuluh mungkin masih bisa Evil guys. Tapi kalau udah bersembilan kemungkinan pada pindah ke DC. Begitu.
Udah main.
Emang pas diskon berapa? 40 ribuan. Diskonnya 60% soalnya.
MVP sekarang lagi dipegang dengan iClef di sini. Bawahnya Seoul 3.000. Oh enggak deh ini total match ini.
Diskon Natal bisa jadi ada lagi ya.
Final.
Nggak tahu juga tuh.
Oh Seoul dipimpin oleh Seoul.
Gue nggak punya bocoran diskonan Steam soalnya. Ini sebenarnya trailer apa sih? Bit?
Rondo.
Trailer Rondo doang.
Iya.
Bukan film atau apa kan? Atau series apa?
Bukan.
Tahun depan ya?
Ini.
Apa udah rilis?
Rabu ini.
Oh, Rabu ini.
Iya.
Rabu ini bareng sama ini. Trailer GTA 6.
Oh, iya. GTA 6 juga Rabu ini kan?
Enggak tahu Rabu apa hari apa ya? Tanggal 5 apa 6 ya guys ya? Lupa gua. Ya itulah pokoknya Bet. Kalau tanggal 6,
World
tanggal 6 pas
Championship,
itu hari Rabu juga.
Onyx main tuh lawan BTR.
Iya, tapi aku nggak paham Mobile Legends.
Lah, Selasa jam 9 malam.
Udah tadi
tanggal 5 berarti.
Homeboy
Ya. Kalau di kita.
Pan.
Itu hype parah sih. Ternyata scam ya kan. Bukan GTA 6. Ternyata apa? RDR remake. Atau apa lagi?
Orbit rungk.
Pokoknya yang remaster gitu. Ngerjain sih kalau bukan GTA 6 ya. GTA 4 remake sih tai ya, bener dah. Sumpah. Emang itu pasti trailer GTA 6? Enggak sih. Enggak tahu juga sih. Bisa di prank juga sih. Halo tako.id. Tako.id. Tapi biasanya pohon palem ada di pantai anjing. Udah mulai pakai perumpamaan semua nih. Main Evil atau DC jam 10 lah kira-kira. Gua ngelarin ini dulu ya, tanggung. Morbid mau gue isin tim buat Evil tapi katanya nggak bisa main malam ini. Banyak alasan dia mah. Ya Bit. Oh ya kan gue mit.
Great stuff. Well, we got to see what happened there on Tego, and now we head back over to my personal favorite map.
Kagak nyaman banget tuh gue liat. Nah itu heartbeat fast color ya. Itu heartbeat rate-nya ya guys ya.
True, a little bit of a variety coming through. We all love to see it. We also got our typical magnet circle up towards the southwest of water treatment. We'll see if that happens this time around or if it doesn't. But no, I agree with you. Excitement across the board yesterday, and I have no reason to believe this would not live up to those same expectations.
Well, these guys are going to have to get
Tarai pas
diskon. Sudah tulisan Miramar berangkat.
Kok di gue belum berangkat guys?
Thailand bro.
Lebih cepat.
Pemburu kupon dulu.
Ayo dong.
Di gue baru game start ini.
Please banget 5.000 untuk aku. Please banget. Kali ini aja.
17 has been up here before and lost the lead. Twisted Minds has been up here before and lost.
Ayo, bisa ayo.
Semangat Tanah. Let's go. Apakah Twi sama Sonic perang di sini?
Apakah harinya kita nih, bro?
Apakah ini saatnya? Apis, apakah ini saatnya, Apis?
Ini saatnya kode ini.
Diam aja lah kamu damdoi. Kamu kan gak bakal dapat.
Biar aja, apa salah mencoba?
Evok.
Evok apa lagi?
Ebo dia nggak dapet itu.
Tak peduli dia rupanya ada.
Nggak peduli dia sama kode itu.
Nah peduli dia.
Op.
Ambil
mobil
Rebutan mobil. Aduh, Mimi kalah. Kalah dia.
Tabrak dia.
Tabrak nih.
Undi Peru dan Nawa.
Undi mandi. Perang awal deh. Waduh.
Paksa kali F24 Incek Mato.
Incek Mato.
Oh, paling 8 dia dapat langsung Pak.
Ini baru boleh. Baru boleh.
Jadi dia pakai incat mata ada Bang Pal.
Ker terus biar aku ngelag.
Kalian lebih cepat 15 detik ya gue lihat.
Tembak terus.
Di pesta siapa menteri Bang? Gilang.
Pesta Gilang deh.
Pesta siapa menteri?
Pesta si Ayu.
Guys, kalian detikannya berapa guys?
Dia
salah. Screennya sama.
Gilang kijau kenapa?
Ya.
Kijau.
Gilang kijau.
Guys, detikan kalian berapa guys?
26, 27.
Anjing 10 detik.
Iya, Thailand lebih cepat.
Pantesan kompe ya.
Biasanya sih kalau yang 42.500 koin nih Thailand di delay kan ya.
Ya jangan di Thailand lah, di anu kan. Latansa itu, Latansa.
Iya.
Di RCTI.
Iya.
Bro, kita diusir bro sama orang Batam.
Tahu sih.
Kemarin disuruh
Kodemin.
Di Latam.
Detik berapa Bang Pal?
5, 6, 7, 8.
beda 5 detik sama ini.
Puciu 30 tahun kamu main PUBG ngapain nih Puciu? Nikah lah lagi Puciu.
Duh, pada punya anak dia Bang Pal. Ngomong gitu.
Hei, masuk angin Teraton Pai.
Gara-gara kau nih.
Nanti kau iklan tuh, Fis.
Aduh.
Tahu lah, kalau iklan berarti rezeki langsung mandi, langsung pergi keluar lagi.
Agak delay ya gue lihat.
Kemana kau, Fis? Aja lah Silek keluar tuh.
Tajak Silek keluar. Ah, dia udah main dah.
Di login. Telepon aja Ian. Ian di Discord kayaknya tuh. Udah tadi.
Keluar kita.
Ya ya, kawan gua orang Pekanbaru sekebun guys, banyak.
Halo
Banyak.
guys. Kami dari Pekanbaru guys.
Mereka diuri tuh.
Kami Riau Pride nih guys.
Oh, beda ya bahasanya.
Guys. Oh, aduh sama
Loki. Oh, Loki.
Karena delay kita mute dulu aja guys.
Enggak jadi
mereka.
Belok lagi dia.
Turu 28 lah.
Nah, kita defend dulu aja guys. Biar vibes-nya masih mirip ya. Nanti kalau udah ada kode-kode baru kita undefend lagi ya. Siapa tahu mereka balik ke yang global begitu ya kan.
And Soul, well, he's
got
support of his teammate from up high, and this actually looks like
Pantasan.
They're fading so hard. They're just driving around.
They're wanting him to come out. Yep, there it is. Oh, he doesn't spot him. Oh, he scoped in. He doesn't. I don't think he saw December 12th. Got a little bit close there for a grenade, but the grenade will bounce off harmlessly off the wall here. Is Donawa, they're like sharks, man. They are hovering around here. They see 2 free kills in the water, and boy, they could use them here as they are trying to catch up with Twisted.
I'm a little worried that Donawa thinks this is Petrichor, or at least just the same team that shot at Loki, because now they realize, wait, there's 4 here. They're all coming in from the east. We got shot further west, and I think that's got to be Soul's position a little dangerous up there in the open. You can see Loki is pulling up on this. No meds, doesn't even have a helmet yet. This might be a bit too early for comfort, even for the likes of Donawa.
Yeah, I feel like both of these teams are already thinking about how to get out of this thing. Neither one really wants to fully commit, but now they have to. And Onyx with the grenade from the hills will find CC 108. Now Salute gonna push right off on top of it.
No helmet either. It's scary pushes here. If there's a shotgun waiting upstairs, you're pretty much done for. Again, no meds, so if they take damage, there's no heals coming through. 62 is what Salute and Loki gonna have as they're trying to make the run on up. Will they get one on an off angle? No, not gonna happen. December 12 jumps on out. Loki can't make the crouch jump, so they're gonna be delayed. Kind of pinned in right now upstairs.
December 12th leading them on a merry chase here as Loki and Salute, the two frontmen. They've got an Onyx and Soul keeping eyes from outside, but they can't really force anybody into disadvantageous positions, really, as they were just trying to track down December 12th. Meanwhile, New Happy hasn't been able to go for the res, and they're not clear. Now December 12th going to get spotted out, and no knocks coming through onto Donowa.
And the only reason they can do this is, of course, because they have Soul, they have an Onyx on the off angles. They know there's 3 players stuck in the garage. They great, guys, you're in a 2v1. Go out, deal with it so we can continue this, because we're already now starting to see day trade creeping on in here. They're hearing the shots, and they're seeing the damage and the knocks and the kill feed, so of course they want a piece of this action.
Could not get the res on the CC 108, unfortunately, for New Happy, and now just 2 guys holding corners as they wait for the push. But as you said, this is day trade coming up. Fortunately, an Onyx, I think, either heard them coming or saw them coming, and he pulls away. So he's in a little bit of a safer position, but he's got to be feeding that information over to the rest of the boys. They have to know that this fight is about to have a third party involved.
Oh, Salute. Nice wiggle there. Able to take down Nan, allowing him to get a connection on the headshot. Despite only having a level 1 helmet, and now Ming, I would love for you to stay.
Dika, makasih udah join membership.
But I do not think that's going to happen, because here comes the
down. Lagi defend dulu.
Perfectly caught in the open, setting the molly on the other side, not allowing for him to exit. Very, very wise push there by Donowa.
Really nicely done by Donowa.
Pikan gua juga soalnya.
The fight between Theraton 5 and Petricor. T5 already have taken one. Shotty in hand for Rosidid. Another one now picked up. A Chewy going to get spotted by Rosidid with that DB.
Ayo, tipep,
as Ixlep trying to make a push here. Atsuwa going to get him down to half HP. Through the smoke, Ixlep will find Rosidid, and now T5 will pull around and try to take out the Petricor fragger, and they will.
And it's once again Petricor fighting in the early game. Of course, this time around we saw Theraton 5 E-pick up right on top of them. They can't really get out of that fight whatsoever, but the E-pick up with the DPS too. They knew where they were going. They knew what they had to be prepared for in their arsenal when they were landing in a compound. So they flew on in and took them down. We've seen previous games now where Petricor loses Summer, loses Chewy. They need to get rid of taking those early casualties, because you know they're so incredibly dangerous when they make late game.
Seems like T5 may have taken a page out of Veronica 7's textbook from yesterday. And they're sending these E-pickups right to the dead center and just taking the fight. This time they come out with all 4 up as well. Now Tiamba does have an angle here. Patapong will have to avoid the shots. Big shots from ZYY.
Satu hit lagi
deh. Can they find the last one?
Patapong
just gets them away.
It doesn't get more scary than when the first bull's a headshot, and then you just pray that the remaining 19 don't connect, and somehow that was the case there. Gets to live with a scare. He will be all right.
Looks like we will have another pickup coming in shortly as FaZe Clan north of San Martin in the blue right now. They are eventually will be making their way down here. Veronica 7
belum ada
all
kode
their
nih.
pickups yesterday. Haven't really seen them all the same strategy today.
TV1 sih, beda emang.
Well, they've kind of fallen down the leaderboard a little bit. I mean, they're still within striking range, right? But not finding the same success as they were yesterday.
I'm loving the timing on the E-pickup here.
Tangan Mali.
So they can stay up there for a second longer, see rotations, have it down below them, get a gist of
lumayan.
5,000. The circle, current circle center, right when the circle
Tapi New Happy beat.
That's when they dive down in the
Gak apa-apa lah, ngasih buat Danawa ya.
Very, very nice timing here by FaZe on the E-pickup.
An absolute worst.
Lebih berharga 5.000 ketimbang EP.
You know it's going to be available. So we'll see where they do decide to go. As Sonics, they're hugging the side.
Balik ke global lah bang, biar enggak.
Waiting for the pop, and they're going to get a little bit of luck here as Gen G are dead center on that high ground.
Yang udah keluar ini ya, Latanza ya.
Little spice.
Semua udah keluar.
A bit of the southern island as well.
Now you see Twisted Minds. I think they
Kalian
went
kemarin
way up over the mountaintop, avoid
Lalu dapetnya yang dari yang mana, Bit?
Anyway, that's what they try to do. That
Latam,
actually shots do come through. But now backfilling Genji.
La
That's what
TV
I'm
kan?
curious about. But Tulins does Genji rotating right in front of him.
We see Veronica 7 and Tai Lu getting close to each
Ini yang
other.
global belum keluar juga
Scene
kayaknya.
swaps abound as Tai Lu rolling too deep. V7 going to find
Yang global udah,
Pixel here as SSG. Pixel just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time as this fight's going on. And now Heaven, or Tosi actually will find Xiao Yang. Tosi going to get traded out by LZQ. And now the shot keeps coming through. Heaven doing so much damage with the sprays, but doesn't get the knock.
Headshot to double body shot on the next player. Solid sprays coming through.
Biar
there.
10.000.
That's really just going to force Tai Lu into a crouch down position. They have to get the res on up as well. So trying to reset here. Tosi, should they be able to make something happen here, potentially get rest as well.
Biar mantap.
Okay, slowing down here just a little bit for V7. As he said, Tosi
Langsung
still
gacha ya
alive,
kan.
not getting flushed
Mana
just yet.
nih?
Everyone will smoke him off to just ensure his life for a little bit longer. But Tai Lu back up to full strength, and they're wanting to leave this whole shack
dia
that
sih
they
sebelum
built,
ya.
figuring out everybody into the smoke line, not giving anything away here for V7.
Very smart. Tidak dipakai ya pasti ini sama orang.
Sort of vision. Heaven from up high, able to take down LZQ again. Probably not going to be a flush
Nggak
to
dapat
follow.
lagi, guys.
But as soon as they start
Itu
flexing
baru
out
muncul tuh,
things,
langsung
they
semua
know
udah.
exactly where they have them. As Heaven once again, with the dragon up in hand, tries to find one more. Keep in mind, no level 3 helmets down
Ente
there,
ya,
so that's a
3
one tap
streaming
to the
ini.
head. Should he be able to
Semua.
connect it?
318 damage right now for Heaven. The man
Dislike
cannot
bilang,
miss
dislike.
with that dragon off in hand, breathing fire down onto Tai Lu.
Tanda PUBG, enggak ada
As they have to
Lu
reposition
nonton yang
once
di
again. Now
Twitch
Tosi
apa
has got
YouTube?
back up on his feet, and he's going to push in with Gilman, but Tom Mu is ready and waiting for it. Tosi very
Kalau
low.
YouTube
He's going to go
kudu
down
dikali
as
dua
well
dulu soalnya.
as they Tom Mu doing everything here for Tai Lu.
Great hold, and that's the time where the smokes fall.
Tuh, Tai Lu,
V7
Bit.
actually ends up working against them because the smokes have been deployed on the hillside. You can see it up there. Heaven couldn't
Kuat,
quite
Bit.
get the angle, and now Heaven and Glass forced to disengage, forced to get away, kind of just cut their losses and hope for something towards the east for the circles to come.
Man, what a hold from Tai Lu there to make sure. Oh my God, high mass. Okay, way downtown there. Xiao Yang will get knocked. Should get rezzed though, as it's just going to do a
Udah
little
keluar
bit more
pas
damage here.
ngomongin Danawa,
Circus, they've
pikan
got a
lu juga.
lovely
Oh iya
spot
sorry.
on
Emang
the
gue yang
high
nggak
ground
merhatiin
here.
guys.
Now they are hugging a little bit close to the eastern side of this zone.
Besok lagi
We'll
nih.
see where they decide to go. Soul right on the doorstep of
Let's
LG.
go.
Talked about it earlier and how you're very exposed if you're committing to this
Snakers.
hillside for too long, but of course they wanted to keep one up here.
Besok dengar-dengar 20.000 Bit.
Circle pops because again, understanding the
20
difficulty
juta
of the
biasa
position
nih.
you're in, but Snakers going for these shots.
Anjing nggak ada yang kena kayak gue banget ini. Pas.
Could just work out as it.
Kok delay tuh?
Will disengage,
Post-
will look
post
further
tuh, play
towards the
lagi.
west side, but if it comes back
Global
west, you
nggak?
have to imagine that so
Iya,
has to
global,
drop on it.
Oke.
5 parachute
37,
drop right on that
38.
compound, looking smarter and smarter with every circle
40,
shield.
41,
As a V7,
43.
well, they hug on the south side. They are inside the zone. Down to just 2.
Bang Bal, besok Bang
But
Bal.
they've got a lot of real
Double
speed.
delay.
Should swing up towards the northwest side, up towards the space station. Tianba and Genji Hill. We'll see if that's what's going to end up happening as this sandstorm once again blazes on through. Tianba trying to set up again. They too have been taking some casualties in the early game. Want to get out of that, of course. And already now set phase 3 dead center. This is looking to be what it's pretty much going to be placement points guaranteed for them.
Sonic's doing a little bit of E-pickup shenanigans here as H-Win and Shrimsy are up high. They're trying to go into the Gen G compound. Meanwhile, Tai Lu pulling up right on the backs here of Veronica 7 to have arrived. But Glaz already waiting, ready and waiting. Shen has the grenade launcher, the Panzerfaust in hand. The shot is not going to be enough as Tai Lu will finish it off. Both points going over to Xiao Yang.
I respect the attempt for Veronica.
Udah rank 8 aja nih. Udah rank 8 aja nih dari rank 1.
Got at a point, able to
Dia berasa kayak nggak usah main lah D2.
Absolutely, they
Berapa 4 berarti 4 poin.
have the entire South really to work with. Now SSG is the next
Ya,
thing
5
they'll
poin
have to
deh.
work by.
5-1 deh.
Sonics keep 4 alive with that E pickup. They try to make their way up this hill very early on the last circle. but got dissuaded
Ini hari
away
ini
from a
Twist Day,
compound by
besok
Gen G.
17 day lagi tuh.
Beating them just by a matter of seconds.
Besok
So
17
Sonic pulled back
Benawa,
down, and now
China
they'll
New
play
Happy
from
ya
this
kan.
spot. Twisted Minds meanwhile still
Terus
just
Sonic
barely on the edge of
tiba-tiba
circle
panas
here
telat
on the
ya
north
kan.
side, and 17 is looking right down at him.
Gengol
Sonic's
juga.
position there, we saw it in the group stage as
Gengol,
well. I believe this was the
Gengol.
purple mood win that they had on
Gengol
this
tuh
side of the
ngapain
circle.
lagi
It's
tuh
so
pulang aja lah
incredibly
lagi.
hard to push from that northern side, so if they can control it, they're looking very good. In the meantime now, Tiamba, again, of course, trying to fend off here against FaZe, who, as we know, he picked up into this position. So they don't have any vehicles to work with, which is why a compound like that looks very, very good.
Bang
But
Bal,
they
ditanya
can't
Bang Bal.
quite get it.
Weh, kalian mau tahu
With
channel
sharp
aku?
shot,
Kalian
actually
mau
gonna
subrek
steal
gua
away
atau mau
Fex,
report
so
gua tuh aja pilihannya.
once again, FaZe, unfortunately, they take a knock. And they
Jelas-jelas
are
kita
going to
dari
get
sekarang
it,
nih.
they're not going to be able to get their res back on here, so they have to just play it as 3. It's always going to be tough, Toby, whenever you see that long building, you just know. Now, the blue zone grenades have made those long buildings a little bit more, I don't want to say easier to breach, but a little bit more breachable. But unfortunately, exactly, yeah, you can force people around to move into places maybe that you can take the fight a little bit better, but unfortunately for them, it doesn't work out that way here. Is now Twisted pushing with the blue at their backs. They're coming right into a 2-2 Sonic split. Tickleton ready and waiting. The spray comes through. Will do a lot of damage. Won't find a knock.
I like the idea of trying to deny the access, and as soon as they see them, they send 2 players down from that hillside, but just hold off
Oh
circle.
my goodness.
Cuman ini doang,
I
Half
thought this one was going to go hard west, and I think the majority of the teams
Mati
here thought so too. But
si
Cerberus,
Half belum
very
mati
happy with
Lui.
this one.
Lu.
Yeah, just based on where everybody's
Ketawa-
sitting right
ketawa
now,
si
you would think that
Palino,
everybody thought it was going to go off to the west, but now Twisted Minds
Memang
out of the frying
nugrahan
pan and
memang
into the
ada.
fire.
Drop.
Shawu, Little Ghost still have angles
drop.
onto this. Actually, Little Ghost is the
Nggak
only one.
kena,
Shawu
nggak
off to
kena.
the north, and he's going to find
instan tuh lebih
Lou.
susah.
Won't be able to get the flush, though. The angle's just not there, but Perfectix will go down to
Instan
the
dia, instan dia,
blue.
pasti instan,
And
pasti
now
instan.
it looks like Spiro is still just working his
Tapi
way
di instannya
north.
sama
Batoons
Sonic nih.
may try to go for this
Iya, kena
res.
net.
It's
Ya
gonna be
elah.
And again, great read from Sonics here, seeing
Hari-hari.
knocks in the kill feed,
Oh
knowing
my God,
exactly who they're
Sarip,
dealing with.
makasih Sarip
Tick
udah
will
join
find the
membership.
flash on one, but again, now you can fall back. You've already done the damage. You found one, you can back off, you can force them the other direction, let 17 deal with them, and then like concern yourselves about the rotation that you have to make.
And Sonics have their own problems to deal with here.
Habis Nobar saya main Evil atau DC8 bang ya.
Compound have pushed all the way out west.
Sama ramean dah pokoknya dah.
Themselves in a little bit of
Ditunggu
a
aja ya.
position here, keeping putting themselves between Sonics and the next
Dia
zone.
bundir
Gen
zone
G
kayak ini, Dok.
haven't left their
Nggak
spot
channel.
either.
Situ sini.
Daytrade also
Udah
playing this
pasrah.
very slow. So all these teams on the
Pasrah kayak,
west
enggak deh.
Pundung,
that knew they
pundung.
were going to have to move over to the east.
Oh, nggak ada
just
hilan.
really playing it slow. I
Nggak ada
think
hilan
maybe
itu kan.
just trying to go for kills at this point.
Yeah, but here comes the peak on
Hidup pinjaman
over.
satu
FaZe
ya,
lost
mereka.
one early, but that doesn't
Astaga,
matter.
Lah.
They still find the double here now.
Udah nyampa tadi Sonic, Sonic.
I mean, for
Udah benar
both
17
Daytrade
yang
and for
nge-kill.
Gen G as well, they were dug in so deep in this
Gengol
area
naik.
that it's been very hard for them to leave. Now they want to clear their
iya kan.
backsides
Biarin
before they make
satu
the
orang
eventual
kan.
run. And FaZe very
Main
successful at that right now.
It's a big push from FaZe, as we said, all the way back out to the western side of the zone.
Ditambah
They end up
20
getting paid for it. 2
Dabdi
points
mencurigakan nih,
in the
Dabdi.
bag. Now Gen G starting to look over that direction, but
Jelas menang
shot from
Prancis
Kickstart
tuh,
down the
Bang.
blue.
Gitu, makasih udah
will dissuade
di-join.
them
Karena aku
from
bilang tadi di
committing
awal,
onto
kalau dia
FaZe.
memang settingan
Just,
pasti
at
di-draw
least
kan ya.
completely as Sonics. This looks like just a point scavenging mission at this point. He'll find teams. He knows he's going down, and there he goes. Sonics eliminated in 13th place.
I respect it completely. Like, get the flush, you know
Aduh.
you're falling
Ya
down. We'll clear it out.
Allah.
In the meantime, now here comes the second push out from Chiamba.
Kena
Has been so
hak
good throughout this
bola nih.
tournament at defending their strongholds, and here they are
Makin
once more.
turun dong
And
ini
this is
17,
keeping in mind
bahaya
that
nih
Link
LG
Shoes
naiknya.
actually already all the way across. So
Kau
they're
pick
holding
apa,
the
Pal, di
fort as
game 5
3
ini,
and
Pal?
not allowing
ada.
any sort of
Asal
access
lu
there
aja
for
masih benar
17.
masuk
Loving the position from Tiamba right
Berarti game
now as
6.
we see Daytrade trying to
Nama itu
take
aku
out
bingung nih.
SSG.
Aku ngambil
Again, it's
Oxford.
the long buildings, Toby,
Aku
as Belmont
ngambil
has the Panzerfaust in hand, looking for any
Shit, ada
angle.
Raji.
I don't know if you're going to find it on the
Tidak,
roof, my
dan
friend.
awal
He's
lebih
got a grenade. Maybe can force the boys from SSG
Tinggal
to
Satchel
pull
ini.
away,
Dan
but
awal.
right now
We
it
trust.
looks like they might be in trouble. Oh, Roth has the high ground.
He sure does, and he sees one up there as
Waduh,
well. Spot the
Belmont.
return.
Jrok. Ya rajanya don.
But Roth ain't gonna allow it.
Beautiful stuff from SSG.
Fire
going on
in the-
right now, but they have to be careful because Ty Lu has an angle onto this. Just off to their east. The sun does shift. It's going back to the high ground. Cerberus in the driver's seat for the rest of this game. They have so much real estate to work with. Let's see how many kills they can get. SSG just holding the line here as Daytrade down to 2.
Holding the line, but they gotta be fast about it because slowly Tyloo is creeping in from that eastern side. We saw them come off the shoreline and they're making their way ever so much closer. And as I say that, Roth already taken down, and now that's SSG having to commit. Do we take this fight even with Roth down on hill, or do we back off? Issue is what you back off into. You have no intel on how Tyloo is currently positioned. They have to commit to this fight and they have to get it done with quickly.
Unfortunate part here for both of these squads is nobody really taking shots at Tyloo or Cerberus, so they just kind of can free farm shots down there as the res does come through on a Pushels, so they're back up to 3 strong. Belmoth might be resable as well. Cut over to Songjang, is trying to make his way out of the blue. Gustav trying to do the same. Tiamba are finally leaving their compound to go in and rejoin Lin Shu on the high ground on the other side of the road. So maybe they'll survive a little bit longer here.
Find something. I think this might just be a deny from the last living Gen G player. Prodog down again, phase 5 hurts. Not that much, but enough. But you can't do a whole lot when you only got bandages to work with.
Bisa bang, Anda nggak punya heal.
There he goes. Goodbye, Songjang.
Mati udah Linsu, mati.
All said and done, got 11th place for Gen G.
Ini belum selesai lagi nih perang nih.
Now Cerberus turning their eyes over towards LG, and they've got Pterodon pushing down here. Sharp shot. Perfect spot. Will find 2 from Day Trade. 2 more points picked up for SSG.
Third connected on there as well. He's going to commit to the flushes. 2 of course knows that there's enough players around. They need those points guaranteed. Great position. He held his fire for maybe some would argue a bit too long. Knew exactly what he was doing. Claims all 3. Now he can with Page, but the journey is far from over. They have to somehow cross this street straight into Tyloo.
Tyloo is hunting right now. They have a smoke blade down. Oh, Page finds one here. Be absolutely huge. Jiang, the easternmost player, he is looking down in that direction, but not spotting him just yet. He may have heard the vehicle from Sharp Shot, which drove up Page and kind of gave him a little bit of an opening here. Sharp Shot will spot Shen. Is LZQ going to get taken down by 7-7? So Tyloo getting taken down by multiple sources here.
The timing could not be any better. Unluckily for Space Station Gaming, How does find one, but Jianba coming over, helping them out for a moment, or at least it looked that way. But now Cerberus as well, wanting a piece of the southern side action.
The kings of the mountain, Cerberus, they are overruling. SSG will get taken down. It's going to be High Mass that does it. The Page will get that flush onto Jiayang. Now Flash still alive for Day Trade. Somehow has managed to make it in between the 2 split of Tiamba. Tyloo still have 2 alive as well on the low side.
He's crept in behind enemy lines here. No
Ini ada tim
utility,
Indo
no
bang,
heals,
nggak ada
nothing to work with. But the
Liwan.
bullets in his guns, peeks on over, can't connect. First one, no, missing in 7-7. Lucky survival there on the side of Jianba.
Breath of relief there for all Tiamba fans, as that snake could have done irreparable damage to Tiamba, but they keep forward, they keep control over the western side of the circle. Now they do have to make moves in, but it's only really just Mime and Snakers from Luminosity in a gatekeeping position. Cerberus, meanwhile, still have just the whole circle as Gustav will find Thanadol, and there you go, they will get taken out by Hotspot. Should be able to get the res here on the Thanadol.
Loving the trade and the instant pushback from Russ. They know that they have Danawa close by. Keep in mind, Danawa was in that position from the very beginning of this game. And of course, Russ is well aware of that. So while one commits to the rest, Russ is instantly
ini nggak ada prediksi lagi, Bit ya?
If you're going to commit to this,
there's going to be a fight to follow.
We're not giving up any
opportunities here.
Twisted Mind's got to be sweating a little bit here as Danawa still 4 alive and 6 kills already. They have the entire north side to themselves. Tiamba with 6 kills to themselves. Looks like they found a way inside this zone. LG content to just lie low and survive for the time being. Meanwhile, Tyloo has been spotted out by Tiamba as well on that south side, but T5 starting to work their way over.
Sedikit demi sedikit.
Helping out a bit as well as him as once again. I mean, I feel like they found knocks somehow. Him as is only at 2 kills confirmed, but they've been showing a lot of presence in the 3-1 split they currently have.
4 kills total for Cerberus as they've left Sololzi on the north side by himself. As OLG That's a lot. You gotta get that knock there. Snaker's still alive. The flashbang comes through. He doesn't see Mime in time. Mime will get the knock and the flush as another point going in the bag for LG.
Such a good angle there. Mime thrown on down, pretty much playing a bait position for his teammates. Snaker's
Itu namanya gawe sambil rebahan nih guys ya barusan.
Swinging around those fine Snakers, and now they know where they have Mime, but are they ready for this Tiamba push to come through? 7-7 finds the first.
Through the smoke, he'll find him, and now Rosseted, the head has been spotted out. They know exactly where he is. LG, Mime going for the res onto Snakers on the other side of the rock. Tiamba has to be focused on the low side. They're trying to make the push here. Now they'll see Mime, and they will try to reposition here, get a side angle, any kind of flank onto this rock with the blue zone at their back.
Down in this direction too, but they're currently getting backstabbed by Danawa, so maybe that's going to force them all to fall back for a moment, because look at the space there is now to the northwest. Nobody is in this next circle. The edge, the shoulder of Sololsi was there for a moment, and Danawa is starting to realize this. Now we have the space. We have forced Cerberus to look the other way. Now we can really claim all this open terrain.
I cannot tell you how long it's been since I've seen a circle with not a single player inside
Anjing pikan kita 3 biji bit.
By Tiamba. It's going to be 9 kills now as they continue their rapid climb up the leaderboard.
Again, the whack-a-mole peeking coming through from Tiamba, working those, I mean, just rich lines absolutely to perfection. Whenever one peeks, when he attracts the attention, peek down, let the other guy peek into a bit of an off angle. They take them down, no casualties, and instantly Pow continues on to the next team. This is where Tiamba is so scary. This is where they've come in and surprised the entire global stage with their ability to just bring home endgames. They're up close fighting, their communication and late game fights is on point.
So much space in this endgame circle.
Buka chest di HP dapat
So
UPS
rocky, the
Orion
terrain.
FT.
It's going to be really hard if you get a knock from range, as we just saw. The knock came through onto
$116.
They're getting the res right
Tarik bang
now.
langsung.
That's the point.
Langsung tarik bang.
It takes so long to try to make the push there. It's unlikely.
Kalau nggak di exchange ke beberapa ini ya investasi yang paling bagus itu AK Redline field test gitu ya. Gua soalnya investasinya di situ. Dia paling stabil grafiknya. Oke, terima kasih.
Toe taps galore, but the smoke will come through, and the rest I think to follow as well. 3 players prone behind the Mirado in the middle of the open.
And Haizaki goes down again.
Atau bisa ke pisau ya. Navaja oke lah itu.
Landing shots here from range, but again just can't make the push. Cerberus still has that hard cover that they can play around. I think Danawa now realizing
Gua tarik, soalnya banyak yang ini juga harga-harga scam. Jadi di websitenya itu mahal nih, kayak berapa gitu. Padahal aslinya dia beda $20 kayak gitu bang. Biasanya gua ngecek dulu di Steamnya gimana. Kalau di Steamnya harganya nggak jauh beda, gua tarik. Kalau misalkan di Steamnya ternyata jauh, gua exchange ke barang lain yang kurang lebih rate-nya mirip gitu, nggak jauh-jauh banget begitu bang. Tes suara ada nggak? Oke.
Yes, indeed. Cerberus started creeping off to the north to try to leave their compound a little bit. But I think after seeing that circle pop, they pulled back to the hard cover, realizing that the shots from Tiamba were more long-range shots. They're not really engaging on the fight.
Tapi zonanya sih Danawa banget, masa nggak menang ya kan?
I think if the longer they stay in this hard cover, Toby, the more likely it is to take that fight with Danawa in the open space, because that's just the easier fight to take.
Finally, Anonix is still with those allow for Tiamba to run with. Again, I was waiting for this enough ammunition that they could go for. Now Loki found as well.
Yo, Tianba sampain, nggak apa-apa, bagus.
What could not happen? They needed to keep all of them up top. They needed to keep them eyeing one another.
Pantesan nggak ada yang mau masuk zone ya, anjing susah banget zonanya.
It's slowing down Cerberus' rotation too.
Anjing.
That's gonna put a pause on things as he follows it up with the smoke and just Haizaki now back on his feet, and now Cerberus starting to think about maybe pushing here as 7-7 will find Salute. And Danawa is just down to Soul in the dead center of the circle. But Toby, don't forget
Ya,
about
masa
it.
sih?
No,
You
Kayak
cannot
merah
count them out.
jadinya, guys.
All these teams can still come out victorious. We'll see what happens here. Cerberus now, of course, all the knocks that's come through, so Champa will commit to the play over the hilltop. They know that they're going to be exposed when they commit to this push.
Ayo, Mas Jowo, kamu bisa.
Peeking on forward, trying to find some more.
Oke,
They have
Linsu,
Linsu
ayo,
just behind the
Linsu.
vehicle, but they don't have the utility to commit to the push and they have to fall back.
Blues on his back as well. 7-7 has pulled away from that. You there you go. Lichu will get spotted by Tycon. Another great spray as they are now up to 6 kills. And in Nonix, he's going to get stolen away by Tycon as well. Give him 7 as 7-7 has to pull away. He's got to find somewhere else to play. Nobody knows where Soul is.
Aduh.
But he doesn't get knocked for nades, but it's uphill. There's no way Soul stays alive down there. Blue, so nade's getting close now. It's gonna land right on top of him. One more eliminate. That Cerberus tries to claim this one. 9 kill might be a 10th unless Soul can pull off magic.
Oh, he's pulled off the impossible before. He's playing around the side of the smoke. Tycon making the push down. I'm not sure if Soul knows where this is. The smoke will keep him alive for now, but how long? How long can he make it happen? Soul will get knocked low again. Tycon coming around the side. He's going to spot him. There's the shot. There's the win for Cerberus.
Solid plays from start to finish. Again, as we said, it could go either way. It was a 3-way stalemate. I love the way that Danoa, despite having the worst position, managed to keep those 2 teams in check on the hillside. But in the end, the one knock onto Anonix opened up an angle for Tiampa to make a play that Cerberus then punishes. It's a 3-way ring around the Rosie, and Cerberus brings it home.
What an absolutely wild endgame. But once again, Danoa finds themselves in it all the way up to the end. And it was all down to Soul. They managed to get second place for themselves. They managed to get a nice stack of kills again. Twisted Minds goes out early, so that makes this leaderboard a lot more interesting, Toby. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to hear what they have to say about our last game.
Maaf. Kelet ya. Mei Nugroho, makasih sudah join membership di Fox Gold. Himas.
Udah siap Ebo racik bok. Udah. Aduh, kok Valencia yang cetak gol, holy shit.
Lu masih suka nge-push rank PUBG, Bit?
Ngopor setengah.
Apa toh?
Masih suka nge-push rank PUBG?
Kagak.
Di
Kalau
website
main sama
maksud
TD,
gua.
main rank. Oh iya, itu ya. Tapi nggak terlalu nggak terlalu push banget, main-main doang.
Kalau main-main doang peringkat berapa tuh kira-kira?
Di bawah 12. Dapat 0,0. Sekarang udah 31,96 dolar.
Anjing, lumayan ya.
Lumayan.
Reza Papua, aduh.
FPP main hari ini tadi siang
tentang
tuh rank
obrolan pemain
19.
muda nggak sih dia? Tapi bisa
sekarang
ditarik,
main-main
Bit?
dong. Bisa.
Pakai bank atau PayPal?
PayPal.
Oh, oke.
Bank minimal 200.
Jauh
PayPal
banget.
nunggu 100 lah.
Tapi nggak ada minimalnya kalau
Nggak ada
PayPal.
potongan. Enggak. 10 dolar berapa ya?
Kalau di bawah 200.
Apa? PayPal kan?
Potongannya. Iya.
Oh, potongan enggak, potongan ke PayPal maksud gua. PayPal kan kalau di bawah 100 dolar ada potongan.
Iya,
Minimal
iya.
10. Kalau PayPal.
Benar. Di atas itu dia mainin red doang.
Ya,
Rednya emang agak beda ya, agak scam dikit cuman oke lah.
agak betul.
Cek DMDC, Mas.
Nabung di web itu kalau nggak rungkat webnya.
Masa rungkat anjing. Scam banget.
30 dolar gua hilang.
Yeah, overall, like when you're able to come out from the compound, you see these situations where like they're using the utility, they're committing everything that you see from it, right?
Mantap juga, Babang.
Okay, we're gonna have to make things.
Tapi ini box yang berapa, Bang? Lu dapat yang 26 dolar. Pasti box mahal ya, Bang ya? Jujur. Orion. USP. USP Orion. Sekarang harga lagi pada naik-naik tau. FT.
Man of the match. Tai Kong.
1,8 anjing. Seharga pisau nih deh. Lagi naik banget bang ini. Apaan dah? 6,3 juta. Kayaknya harganya bagus ini bang.
Dian udah mulai naik
bagus,
di sini.
Bagus bang harganya bang.
Lihat.
Oi.
Langsung yang 8 dia.
Apa?
Dia
Iya.
lebih ke apa ya?
Banget ya.
Itemnya jarang bang.
Mau logit.
Transaksinya jarang juga sih.
Dah, udah siap.
1,6 sih.
Masih melanjutkan
Kalau di convert 1,8 belum sama potongan ya.
Midnight.
Orion. Box $5.
Girona. Ayo. Girona.
Harganya stabil di 1,6 sih, cuman ya selisihnya lumayan. Kalau gua lebih ke redline biasanya bang investasi.
Udah satu aja.
Opa ambil 0,05 ya.
Yang
redline itu
enggak, aku ngopor setengah.
Seingat gua ya, yang FT itu 17,7 apa ya?
Aku nggak obi itu yang kecil.
Dia stabil di
yang 0,05 gitu.
280 ribuan.
Ikon 0 sampai akhir
redline tuh stabil banget, bahkan naik ya sekarang.
Udah tadi Jerman draw, tambah ini 0,5, iya dapat limpul lagi.
Oke.
Ayo, tolong chicken 17.
Kalau nggak salah $17,7 gitu.
Ambil 17.
Enggak ada lagi, udah ditutupnya dari tadi.
274 ribu.
Dia aku ngepick menang terus.
Di sini 280 ribuan ya. Investasi gue di redline biasanya.
Pilek kenakan mama.
Tukar gue tarik jadiin Steam Wallet gitu. Mendel makasih udah rejoin. Wangi juga babangsat. Lu pakai kode redeem promo code yang mana bang? Apakah saya bisa buka HC? Bang kok media share-nya ndak bisa? Ya lu lihat nih. Ini bukan media share, ini tuh namanya chatbox. Media share tuh nggak gitu cara mainnya bang. Tapi biasanya lu juga bangsat sih, yang sebelumnya sih agak-agak bahaya ya. Oh ada event dapat 13%. Pantesan.
Guys, main guys.
Main.
From the very shoreline into what effectively was Mina's still
Now
that moved it further off the edge. I feel like it deserves some love. Can we get a chicken leg finish?
Yeah, let's get on that chicken wing. I'm all for it. Well, it doesn't look like our,
kita udah di atas semua nih.
southeastern plane path is resulting in any.
Kecuali Sonic kayaknya nggak bisa diharapkan itu.
Anytime you see something like where it hugs a side that much,
Sonic
is
S-nya kan
when you
Sun
worry
bit.
about teams dropping for cars at
Tuh,
the same
Sun.
time, right?
Iya.
It's not so much the hot
Depannya.
drops; it's worrying about them trying to go for the same car at the same time. And it doesn't
Tapi
look
nggak
like
tahu
we're
ya
gonna see
nanti ya
that, but it looks
D3.
like
Siapa tahu
V7
menggila.
and LG once again will be uncomfortable
Makin bawah kan
neighbors,
maksudnya kan.
and there you go.
Makin
We're gonna get
gila,
you Masera.
Gila bener.
Boring, but it's okay. It'll be exciting at the end, I'm sure.
Danawa yok.
At least it tends to be. We have been down here plenty of times
peringkat
before,
satu
so
deh,
that should just
Danawa
add to
nih.
the fact that I would be
Satu
very
poin aja.
surprised if we see
Beda satu
a
poin
lot of
aja.
early game commotion. Having said that, and again, I know that I say this all the time, and some of you might be annoyed by it, but I will say it
Kena
once
mental
more. Get
langsung.
the map feed up on your
Palanya
screens, because
kena.
while it's all good fun watching these guys loot up, there's so much info to be found for those who
Tapi
can
lompatnya
actually
agak jauh
care
nih
about
langsung ke
the,
17 nih.
deeper levels of competitive
Sama
PUBG
NH.
when you in
kelima
and
kita
get the
langsung.
overview of the map. Because look
Oh,
towards
nyet
the
nih.
east, the northeast. Effectively,
Oke lah ya,
not a single
Tianba,
team outside of just, well,
enak,
Ike's left on the western half of this circle right
Ayo,
now. Everyone is
17,
going to be
ring
rotating
2.
in from the far east. So I'm looking towards Sonics. I'm looking towards FaZe. We'll be doing hard reps, maybe all the way through the Coparia, just to be safe on their rotations, because you know Gen G is going to be around Montenuevo. There's going to be a lot of very late rotations, even for the teams that like to play center early on, which is going to kind of change up the dynamic and the tempo of how I think this lobby is going to play this particular circle, simply because of where they jumped out of the plane.
Well, I imagine we will see some E pickups. I mean, I've got my eyes glued on T5. They've been pulling off the E pickup in a big way so far today, and now Chuma is dead center. You've got Donowa already there looting around. As we see up in Picado, 17 Gaming still got to make their way down. You got Gen G just off to their west. So I'm interested to see if the E pickup towards the dead center of the circle for T5 works once again for them.
We're seeing New Heavy again continue their looting phase here. They have had pretty good success on their early game, like avoiding too much confrontations through the previous brackets. They were running into quite a bit of trouble, but here it's been passive in the fashion that New Heavy likes to play.
Well, and that's that's the benefit of having analysts and coaches and all that stuff is that. You know, as you mentioned already, the fact that we have switching lobbies so often, and you're playing with people that you're not used to playing with, you're maybe not always as used to the rotation path and stuff like that. And that's where your coach and analyst comes in to help out and figure out what spots, where to expect people to be coming from. And it looks like they've been doing a great job for New Happy, because they have managed to make their way to late game pretty consistently, at least enough to find themselves in 7th place and still within striking distance of first.
And one thing is from day to day, because everyone is going to go back to their hotel rooms, watch the VODs together and talk things over.
Of course.
But we see it here for the teams that have the coaches with them here, which of course most of them do. Players run, like as soon as that game is over, they run off the stage, because they know we only have 4 or 5 minutes before we have to be back in that seat again. We got to optimize, we got to work with every single second that we have with the guys that have sat out back, watched all the games, seen what every other team has been doing, and figure out what we're doing, especially when we get like the back-to-back games on maps like Miramar here.
Chicken 1000 poin, kill 1 ya.
All the way up north towards Campo Militar, all in vehicles with the exception of Lin Shu, who's just now leaving Bronca, but I believe we'll see them take that long road around the north side all the way to the west. And
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, and they should be perfectly.
Lagi tarik bagus bang. Pokoknya ada yang barang bagus tarik bang. Biar apa? Biar nggak lu jual, lu langsung drop gitu bang. Ya kan?
They do have 17 very close to them, so they got to be careful about exactly where they want to play and what splits they work. But again, experienced teams, they know these things.
Again, all these teams, as we can see, rotating in the vehicles. But again, I want to bring your eyes to the map, because now is when we're seeing all the teams out east starting their rotations. This is where potentially commotion could happen, where teams could run into each other because they missed the timing of opposing rotations. We're seeing 3 in 1 car from Luminosity here on your screen as well. They could be running into Sonics, they could be running into Twisted Minds. Twisted Minds, we know, like to sit up on the hill, even when the circle shifts south. They like to sit up on that hillside, up by Power Grid for a little while longer, allow for the other teams to kind of drive past them, because then they get a good idea, a good intel of where they have their opponents. They want to play the edge, they want to allow for teams to maneuver through, so then kind of backfill. And if they sit here and they read that LG's coming in 3 and a 4 in a car, that's going to be troublesome.
It's dangerous.
Berarti habis PGC ini peace dong ya.
Cooling Naruto patch on, so I think he'll be feeling fresh and clean throughout the rest of this
Asia apa
game.
namanya?
As Sonic's just in front of LG, I think each one is the tailing man. As
yang
like
ketunda
LG
itu
taking their time getting that van over the mountains into San Martin. Cerberus getting very close here to 17. 17 holding a 2-2 split after looting up in Picado, and Cerberus should be well aware of the fact that there's a high likelihood that 17 would be very close by. So we'll see how closely they decide to play it. V7, they're coming in from the north.
Yep, driving with plenty of space to maneuver. You can see Luminosity stopped in San Martin as well, so hopefully found themselves at least one more vehicle to work with. Veronica 7 kind of following the exact same path they were on just before, of course, LG opting to sway a little further north. And Veronica 7,
wouldn't be surprised to see them actually want to stop on the east side of Power Grid Plateau as well. Scout on forward, maybe stay on the next circle to pop just in case we get a southern hard shift. They can do what we're seeing. 3rd on 5 do here. Just get that E-pick up in and fly south.
No.
LG is camping somebody.
Ini tuh video-video terlarang, Bang.
It's not a bad play.
It's not a bad play.
I don't know who they're camping, but they're camping somebody. 3rd top 5, we already said we knew they were going to take the E-pick up. They tried to send a dead center. It's been working a treat so far today. We'll see if it works out for him here as Day Trade now has the high ground on the south side, a little bit south of Chuki, a little bit south of center circle, but look at how much information they can gather from the spot that they're at right now. Veronica 7, we're worried. They're getting a little bit close to phase. The vehicle spray, take the shot, get some damage down, but won't get the knock yet. Gonna get spotted out.
G7 finished yesterday in first, but it's just not been their day today.
Perangin
Again, I feel like mainly due to the fact that they take these casualties in the early game. Yesterday they
keluar lagi dia.
To avoid
nakal.
Kena hit lagi. But today they've opted to go what usually is the safe route of rotating in vehicles. But they've just been running into team after team in the early stages of the game here.
Yeah, you saw them starting to head south down Power Grid towards Twisted Mind's spot. It looks like Spiro was able to spot that out, take a few shots at him, and let V7 know that this is not the way you want to come. So they'll head back up to the road where they were
Malam ini
originally
full
traveling.
nonton ka Bang? Enggak, nanti kita restream lagi. Ini beres, gua live streaming lagi, main ramean, party-party guys ya. Bisa DC It, bisa Evil, nanti dilihat nanti ya.
To push south unless until they
see Bang itu yang lagu Om Anton nggak tahu. Kenapa ya?
Power Grid Plateau
di blok sama Sawerianya. Gua cek yang Babang bisa tadi Saweria. Nih gua coba yang kemarin ya.
Candyman, man. It's a Power Grid Plateau.
Bisa nih.
Well, there you go. T5, they do finally land from their E-pickup and they
Mamat Gansop, makasih.
Dead center into Chuma, but rather
senjata favorit selain M4 Beryl sih.
Completely for free, so that E-pickup works out just fine for them.
Oh, Auk.
They hold a little bit of a 2-2 split between high and low ground. Still waiting for that circle to collapse here, but
Aceh ya, cuman jarang. AK biasa.
And Tiamba off on this western side, getting close. They've got LG still off to their north as well.
I mean, we talked about it in the very early game. It's these teams that were fouled towards the eastern side that eyed the opportunity to make that wide western wrap.
Kayaknya Saweria menganggapnya itu musik atau video terlarang sih kalau menurut gue ya. 2 kali soalnya nih.
Nothing too substantial. Is Tiamba big split for Tiamba, man. They are taking up that western side. They're prioritizing this high ground. We'll see if they get any luck with the shift as it goes north.
180 Twisted Minds, 180 get back up.
You can see Twisted. They were
jangan bilang twist lagi ini dia pangkal ini pangkal lagi.
As they had the
Pawang
perfect position and actually the perfect prio on a 2-2 split here. Ty Lu doing the exact same thing as they send it right back off to the north.
Yep, Luminosity Gaming was slow on their rotation, as you said, setting up what could or what would have been a great ambush, but no one opted to come through San Martin after them. But now, because they delayed their rotation a bit, they get rewarded off of it as well. Sonics coming in, claiming center positions, forcing Gen G to group up. I like this. When you play it into an area of the map where you know it's pretty much going to end, just commit early. You know teams are going to be set in split positions, force them out, because no one, if they can leave, wants to take those fights. And speaking of if you can leave, I'm sure Mime would love to not be here right now.
Well, he wouldn't, and he's actually getting some support from the LG boys. The unfortunate thing is that by sending it over here to support Mime, Tiamba was right there ready to backfill bricks, so LG gonna have to play this one out from the north side of Mata Nuevo, whether they like it or not. Guman just hiding right now as the rest of V7 on the other side of the street. Guman just listening for the footsteps, getting fed information over from his teammates. You see the shots coming through. Guman not taking the peek just yet. Snakers gets knocked very low, but doesn't go down.
I was just going to say, this is where I want to see the rest of Veronica 7 go out and just bait. Go out, start shooting, force the attention the other way so that Guman can peek around and find one. And he does exactly that. Rello taken down, caught with a nade in hand, though Guman somehow able to back off of it.
Ty Lu from behind is going to find Flood, and now Guman will get knocked and flushed. The smoke's laid down. It bloomed a little bit late, but Ty Lu taking those shots from the bricks after they backfilled LG. Unfortunately for them, they've got Tiamba right on top of them, so they can't fully commit to making a push here. They will at least get the flush onto Flood, but it looks like Rello should be revivable.
Trying to reset here. I'm liking that Mime is set outside, trying to deny any sort of push coming in. They know there's a knock player inside, and I would imagine that once this rest does come through, which we see now, that Mime would opt to play back towards the building that his teammates are currently in, because he is a little exposed on the northern angle, but of course right now he's aware that no one has gotten that angle to shoot him in the back.
This was the other side of that fight where Ty Lu and Tiamba were all both going for that bricks compound right after LG sent it. Looks like Ty Lu will lose one. They're going to send Atom Lu into the city itself. Trying to get at least a little bit of a foothold here, a little bit farther south, leaving LZ overlooking Tiamba, overlooking the city of Montenuevo.
I don't mind this at all. It's a very low-risk play for potential big game. They saw the commotion, they saw the action in the kill feed, and they figure, you know what, maybe someone's going to be in and off. Again, we're coming in from the one angle they aren't currently fighting through, so maybe one is revealed to us in the meantime now. This happened earlier today as well. The Thai teams fighting one another.
Free kill, bang?
Finds the first.
Pak Tompong, Panadol. Ui!
Keeps peeking the side. Belmont will find Rossiden.
Ui!
Ui! He gets him with the
Norin bro, Turit. Pantesan gua kalah kan Bit, wajar dong.
The last one alive. He's going to make sure he secures those points for his team. Nurin's still running around here, going to try to lay the smoke down, but he has no idea where Hatsawat is. Fortunately, it looks like Hatsawat in a vehicle trying to escape.
I mean, looking at how the tournament is played so far, you would think that 3rd and 5 with the teams come out on top, but once again, it's day trade that just steamrolls through them. Yes, they lose one, but getting 3 kills off of it in a fight that should easily have gone against you, because they're the aggressors, they're the ones coming in, and 3rd and 5 was ready for the push-up. Still, they're able to come out victorious. Great day trade.
The circle has shifted. It is going off to the northeast and favoring that power grid cliffside there. Hatsawat trying to send it, find somewhere to play inside here, but there's so many people around Montenuevo. He's got Petrichor Road right on his back. And there's just, it just doesn't feel like anywhere is safe, as he's just going to try to find some kind of dip to play and maybe survive a little bit longer, but now he's running around.
Drop!
Time will be the one that takes it on 5.
A little free in the middle of that rotation.
Cepet banget soalnya.
Now trying to make the way towards the southeast. Again, of course, the big mountain up towards where Tiamba is currently positioned will be shifted away from with the next circle. So everyone expecting this one to go southeast. That's why we've seen Genji fully commit. That's why we've seen Danawa just full speed send it. They even lose Soul in the midst of that transition, but they know it's worth it. We'll take one casualty, but getting here early is pretty much placement points guaranteed.
And wouldn't you know it, for a sandstorm to go right across the entire zone. It has to be in the middle of that rotation phase. Fortunately for LG, they stay alive. They keep 3 alive. They've lost Flood, but they ran right into Twisted Minds. The shots came through, but I don't think Twisted could really land anything or finish anything out there because they couldn't see him. Yeah, so a number of teams actually benefiting from that. Day trade, meanwhile, they're going to send the pickup from the top of Montenuevo, but where do you go? I mean, Power Grid, the whole north side of this circle still open.
But also going to be shifted away from the next circle. You won't have a pass. We'll see in the meantime now. Here comes Veronica 7, the last 2 players alive, trying to make something happen. Summer trying to cut them off, but I think they're going to just beat into it. The Murano's top speed just superior. As Summer will connect the headshot, but nothing more will come off it.
Heaven's still alive, and they are bruised and battered, but still alive here. As we see Day Trade is going over to that north side, maybe a little bit on the east, heading just to the south of Power Grid. They're getting shot in the back by Cerberus. But 7 still alive as I mean, it started off so good today, Toby. First place, and they have plummeted now into 10th.
Many people hope to see the top run continue, but it's not been great. Glass and Heaven though, still make something happen here, unless if Mime can find the perfect nade. It looks good, but comes up a little short.
Waduh,
Feed on
megang
Veronica
bom
7, keeping him
dulu.
alive right now. Glenn's going to spot out Mine before he can get rid of the grenade, and the flush will come through as LZ had an angle onto it. Now it's down to just Rello and Snakers. More shots coming,
Wah,
though.
ada
I think
Nawar.
they might just pull back away
Tujuh
from this as
belas.
the circle
Nawar.
has shifted down hard south, as you said,
Kita zona
going
motor, aman,
away
aman.
from that power grid, away from
Kalau
that
gue
high
lagi
ground.
Great understanding
direpetin
from Veronica
Ripki
7
nih
as well
bangsat.
how to engage in this fight.
Gak sabaran
Leave
bocah
that
bener.
hillside. They know there's a team set
Lagi
above
live
them, but if you
stream
go
ya?
all the way up against the wall, that team will be shooting at luminosity rather than you
enam
with
dulu,
your
bro.
backs
Oke,
turned. So
bro,
very
Anang.
smart
Aman aja, bro, Anang.
engagement
Ada kali
that the
50.
Tikon over know they don't get the flush. It will be
17
stolen, but
ikan,
they
oke,
get to stay
Anang.
alive.
Get a little bit of
Inmaan
unintentional
Witras.
protection there from Tiamba. New Happy on the very southern side of this circle. They've
View
stopped
kita
Ming
satap
in
tuh kan?
December 12th, scouting
Iya.
out
Oh,
where they might want to
ketahuan
go.
gua
They're
tuh
looking at
lah,
that
jangan
Gen G
gitu lah.
compound, but that Gen G compound is filled. And they've got 3 inside right now. DG98 stepping away on that northern
Coba
side,
apa
playing the
sih si
hills.
Moji itu?
He's been doing that
Bang,
this entire
Iya,
game
tuh
so
memang.
far. Actually, a little bit surprising. You would expect to see Pio away
Agak
from his
Genji banget
teammates
kalau
this
main
time,
di
but
satu
Pio playing
kompon.
it a little bit closer to the boys this time.
This is where you reconsider if you're
biasanya
Genji.
kan
You now know you have a
flank,
4-man
flank,
set
flank.
just on your
Benar,
southern side.
kalau
One
benar,
bad angle and you were
mantap
essentially instantly pushed. We'll see now though as the chaos kind of quiets
Ini
down
berapa
the
match
southern
last
side. The north is just
Today
about
last.
to blow up. The circle is already closing in, and we have
Ini
4
nih,
teams
Girona
that
yang
have to
butuh
make
nih,
plays
Girona.
into this circle. But look at what they're up
Besok
against. There's an
6 kali
entire
lagi.
border of teams on that northern side just waiting for them to come.
I mean, Petrichor Road is just staring down on that Twisted Minds compound, trying to find some way to get in. And they're just waiting, biding their time.
Dan siapa itu mati satu?
They've
Oh,
left
Seul
Batoons
tadi ya.
out here on that hill just to kind of scout out, and it looks like he
Yep.
spotted out
Seul
Sonics on the
mati.
south side of the road here, south side of this
Tersisa
zone.
Lil
But
Ghost
if this
dan
push
Ming
comes in
Ming.
from Petrichor Road, Twisted Minds might be in a little bit of trouble. We'll see as Cerberus now trying to find their way inside the circle, and they know that Tai Lu is ready and
Kalau
waiting for them.
ramenya
And they also know
12
that they have
orang
big trade
bang,
off to the north
Evil.
because they saw the parachute.
10 sih, 10 orang udah pasti Evil guys.
Twisted Minds has
Itu
to be ready for it.
sama
Alex is
Vero.
Kalau
he's very good
bersembilan,
HP to work
DC
with,
it
but the
paling.
bullet will come through. All 4 will make it here. Twisted Minds just not in the position to aggress off of it.
Cuman
and
ada
it's gonna
beberapa
allow
orang
the
yang
heals to come
ikut
through.
Evil
Summer
nggak
has
ikut
made it
DCI
inside, but
gitu.
Ming is the first to
Sama
fall.
sebaliknya.
Sends it
Ming.
right
KOC
to
kan bisa ikut
Bureau as
DCI,
he's in the
nggak bisa ikut
warehouse
Evil kan
holding it, but
gara-gara
Chewy will win
sistem.
that 1v1. And now Twisted Minds down by 1.
Pasti
Perfectix
Pero
has that
ini tim Thailand ya.
backpack on, so he
Yep.
should be safe for right now. Trying to
Cina.
make push up in, and
bukan.
he will find him. Ike's left. Going to go down actually to 7-7 from Tiamba. So third party action coming in from the high side, the north side up on the hill.
It's a nice hold. They know
Kok
they
banyak
have one more
supporternya di
field, though.
Thailand?
Chewy still alive. I believe he found the flush on one of the Twisted Minds players as well. So
Banyak
damage
dukung
has
Twist.
been done. As
Oh,
Batoons
Twist
now
yang
from the
didukung.
backside peeking on
Iya.
over. Will get taken
Tanam
down as
Twist tuh,
well.
tanam Twist
Chewy
tuh.
once again able to find a
Biarkan dia
kill.
Tanam 40,
And
tanam,
again,
tanam.
Twisted Minds
malah
just
menang.
sending
Kelas.
solos in
Oh,
after
iya.
solos, and they just lose players one by
Good
one,
pick.
unfortunately
Dikit
for
juga
them.
dan
Now they still
lawan.
have 2 alive.
Ah,
They
itu
could
satu
still
udah
make it a
keluar
little bit
Bang
further
Paul
into
di
this game.
game
Meanwhile,
delapan.
while this fight was going on, everything
Keluar
on
lagi.
the
Ada,
hillside
ada,
totally
ada.
been cleared up. Day Trade got taken
Gua
out
naik
by a
game gua.
combination of Cerberus and Tiamba. Now Tiamba losing players to a combination of Veronica 7,
Tiamba.
Tai Lu, and Cerberus, and you still have the 2 LG boys up there as well.
It's all these teams trying to make essentially impossible rotations, and as for now, it's Tiamba who's reaping the rewards of having the high ground. Oh, this shot connected
Net bareng,
there
net
with the
bareng,
3x.
oke.
Nah, ini mah udah jerok pasti, Bang.
Know exactly where they
Waduh,
have the
keliwat.
nade. It's going to be close, but no, bounces a bit too far.
Still
Tumben
outside of the
amat.
zone. They got to make this quick,
Ui.
and that shot's going to slow
Alah,
things down
Bang.
just a
Pas
little
kali
bit
mau
here.
lihat tuh.
As another
Nah, itu baru pas
volley,
banget tuh.
beautifully placed by 7-7, right
Beautiful
where
sama
it needed to
Sofon,
be.
Sofon. Oh.
Bang
6
Jowo.
kills down for Tiamba as V7 Fun Pin goes out in
Ui.
12th place.
One of the new areas added to the map, a little bit of change of
Di 98
terrain
tuh Bang Paul
here
udah
with
keluar
the,
pasifnya
I guess,
Bang.
flipped container, flipped
baru truk-truknya.
semi-truck. It's going to add
Iya,
cover
baru.
where
Udah satu
previously there
kompon,
was
mati dia
none.
satu.
So FaZe with a little space to maneuver
Nggak
now.
zona dia Pit.
Yeah, FaZe has a great spot here. Now they do have SSG off to the east here, still trying to find a way inside
Mana
the
dia
zone.
pikir
Gen
Pio?
G,
Kemana Pio?
meanwhile, they still have their compound. New Happy managed to
What the-
stay on that southern side of the road and stay alive, but they still got
Jadi
4 up,
kencing
and
gua.
Gen G knows it. After losing DG98, they've got to find somewhere to play, but all of a sudden they maybe take too
mantap.
long.
Ini belakang
Everything
bisa tambah
good has
satu lagi
gone
jangan
as
lagi.
Sololzi will find 7-7 from range.
one rotation too far for Chiamba
Eh,
here.
tadi
They
aku
just
mau
cannot get off this hill. I
Oh,
wouldn't even be
awal.
mad. I believe the last is Lin. Should you
Kami
sit up there,
masih
do some
kalah di
damage, see
dia
if you
satu
can
gol
maybe
nih.
find a flush somewhere.
Yang
I don't
pakai
team getting inside this next one, but he will find the knock onto Zololsi. And he might just be rewarded with a flush too, because he's outside the circle, it's creeping on in. That's one extra point. Again, we talk about salvaging when it's a best of 18. Any extra point you can get is huge. And Lin Shu finds one more for Tianba.
And that 1 point might jump them. Oh, okay, Salute will steal it away. He almost gets it. Look at IMAS. Extremely low here. Cerberus, 3 kills, but still alive. LG was still with 2 up there as well. As Tycon and the rest of the boys, now they have an angle, they still have high ground. Everything that's going on the south here. Now Donovan once again, Toby, 3 up. They've got the compound. And then you've got 17, you've got Sonics. All of these have compound, but Genji, they're going to send it right into phase.
They're going full speed forward, straight into their opponents. There's a nade on point. PO down, Shenyang down. Just one more left to be found, and Genji. Timing completely off on that pull-up. There were no knocks on base. There was no clear entry, but of course the blue was on their back. They had to make a play, and happens too fast there.
Waited to the last possible minute, and unfortunately nothing really presented itself to be helpful to them before that, so they had to take a bad send here as LG still cleaning up on this north side. IMAS, the last player up for Cerberus. Does he have any heals left? I don't need. He's just maybe bandaging. Yeah, I think that's about all he's got. It's not looking great for Cerberus here.
But of course, Relo here not going to take any chances. They know that they both have to make moves. Some point real soon. That's the last bandage. Himas will sit at, I believe, 50 some HP. Have to work with Relo. Flashes on over. He's on down.
No! Himas with a double headshot connected.
What a shot from IMAS, as he will find another kill, and look at that, Relo had 5 first aids on him. So all of a sudden, IMAS, what was looking like pretty bad is looking pretty good.
And now he can backstab Snakers too. Snakers has to look he has to look in this direction because Perfectix and Lu cannot see him. What could have been potentially LG trying to claim, like pull off the mountain on the western side, take a fight to Twisted. Now looks to go the way of him, as we'll see if it happens. No, Snakers down below is able to take him out.
I don't know what happened to Fex there, but it's got in the way of James' spray over on SSG, so it does happen. We've seen it happen in this tournament already. As Snaker's still trying to make his way down the mountain up to his perfect spot.
Ya, pokoknya semua yang kata-katanya ujungnya pakai do ya.
Coming through, it's going to land a little bit short. Snaker's got
do. Itu bukan logat namanya, Bang. Kalian nggak ada ngomong do terakhir?
Ada nih do.
Karena Minang. Karena Minang orang itu.
Beda
sih. He's hunting the team right ahead of them. You do not give Twisted
Minds 3
points. They're already very consistently playing. Do not let them convert this game from a mediocre salvage into a good game by giving them a 3 point. They're a smart play by Snakers, understanding the situation, understanding their position on the leaderboard.
Ditabrak, Bang. Part berapa ini? Drop.
It's gonna fall just
drop.
Oh, it gets stopped.
Matian anjing.
The Xiaobei one will find CC108 though. Another one from Xiaobei to follow it up. Not gonna find the same damage as they continue throwing this utility out, but New Happy somehow are staying alive. CC108 is gonna get rezzed.
Effective in what they're doing here, 17 trying to suppress, trying to maybe have some other team help them out in creating all bangers, but it's not gonna happen as a matter of fact. December 12 peeks on in, jumps on through, finds
Untung
one.
ada jammer pack nggak jadi untung.
Here comes the help that 17 hoped for.
Oh man, December 12th read that man like a book.
Drop.
It doesn't matter, Lil Ghost will finish on New Happy.
Dapat
17 and good work on Sonics to make sure that they got a few points off of that. They're still 4 up and they still have zone.
Looking very good here. I'm sure Dano, I would have hoped that Soul had lived through that first rotation as well. They've been 3 pretty much from the start of this game, and seeing Twisted Minds still alive and getting points. They don't know
drop.
Where they are.
Yeah.
In the meantime now, Sharp jump. Before there was cover, now there is none.
Aduh, ini mah pas kaki, Bang, ini.
Where Page is hiding behind that Marauder, that grenade not going to fall where it needs to. Then maybe try to do the same thing here. He's just he's got enough ammunition for
masih peluru tuh. Tembak lagi, tembak
terus. Force Page to move once again.
And they have all of the Gen G dead right next to them too, so should be very good on ammo. It's going to feed that one.
17 lagi ya.
Instead, Page tried to wrap around the rock. Reveals himself to Xiao Bei as now this one closing on in 5 seconds. Twisted Minds.
Nah, kasih Sonic nggak apa-apa dah. Tuh, yuk. Yuk Sonic, drop.
Here for Twisted. Fortunately, they don't have to go far. They just had to get down the hill. And they've got themselves a little ridge line to work with. And they've got the shield. So they'll stay alive for the time being, immediately turning their attention over towards Danawa because they know that that's the team that's outside of zone. That's the one that they have to worry the most about right now.
So big for Twisted to stay alive in this game too, and having back-to-back games go against them here. I mean, in this tournament in particular, you slip once, that's you out of the top. We've seen it from 2 teams now, and now Danawa again trying to bring this one home, but they too have a tough rotation. So Mega Shrimzy finds an Onyx.
Kalau duluan sih.
Shrimzy with a big knock, and actually they can't even stop putting him in the car.
Tenang.
Let's see where they decide to go. As they've got the knock player in the car, they've got the smoke wall laid down.
Drop.
Trying to add to it.
Tidak ada yang kena ya. Nggak jadi.
Find Loki. 2 knocks now as the Murado has left him. It's just Salute hiding behind a hill inside a smoke wall.
And the worst team to potentially give points to now is Twisted Minds. Perfectic starts bringing up through. You can see the audience. They're not liking this. They're not liking this at all. Phase though. Trying to use the kind of commotion that's happening on the northern side of the street.
Kamu stop nonton Thailand, kampret ya. Nonton Thailand.
They too can make amazing plays when they need to the most.
A smart play from FaZe, smoking off 17 so that they could not look out of their windows. They can't peek this from the hard cover. If they want it, they've got to come out and get it, and that's what Lil Ghost is trying to do, peeking from the side there. That grenade finding Gustav just before the movable cover goes
yang
up.
streamer itu ya betul. Streamer juga kan ya?
All the rests here as well. And I mean, if Sonics take out Twisted Minds on the northern side,
yang
Danawa might have some
kontennya
space to be
banyak
able to
itulah.
spread out a little bit. We know this final circle is going to end right in between Sonics and Danawa, and so far no one's taking it because, as you can see here, there's literally nothing to claim.
They've got to send it. They've got to go to that ridge.
Nice.
They've got to try to take it.
Nice.
Itulah. And just like that, Twisted Minds eliminated. Meanwhile,
Itulah baru pikan kita semua Bit. Beh. Cocok. Serah dah lu, siapa dah yang menang dah. Serah.
Competition on their side of the street because now 17 can start spreading out and they can try to play control.
Boleh.
Potentially dictate the order of this one. Right now, Danawa and Sonics both have positions from where they
biar
don't
bisa
necessarily
naik
have to
ke
shoot one another. So they can both say, you know what, let's hold on for a second
9
and
dulu
wait
ya,
for
anjing jauh
17
juga.
to cross the road
Poin.
first.
Danawa and 17 have been going off today. Sonics now
Dapat
finally in
satu.
a
Nice,
position
nice.
where they can get back into the conversation at the end of day 2.
Stop lagi nih.
Dicolong.
Lagi Vector yang naik.
Apalagi kalau EMP masih standing.
17 gonna have to cross this road at some point, you would figure, Toby. And Danawa, though they are down to just Salute and Loki, look at those guns. They are ready and waiting for that push to come through.
No smokes available on the other side to kind of try and deny any sort of push on over. Nice Molly is going to connect onto both Loki and Salute. That should allow for them to try and make a play here. They have the smokes up, and again, we see it so many times. Teams spend 10 smokes and then don't run while they're there. Now you have the wall. Now you try and make a play, but they're hesitant. The smokes are going to fade once more. I hope they have extra juice because that run is going to be, I mean, absolutely fatal if you try and do it without any cover.
Yeah, 17 just waiting for that zone
Sehat ya, Vin.
to pop, waiting to move until they absolutely have to. Kickstart with a little bit of an angle down there. But I think this is the right play. 4 nades here for Kickstart, but they're waiting until they absolutely have to use them. They can push 17 all into the same place. They know exactly where they're going to be. That one might find Lil Ghost, as Shrimzy does have an angle here, but nothing happening just yet. There we go. H-way to find him. And that'll be Lil Ghost going down.
Great utility usage here by Close on both fronts. First they smoke off Danawa so they can't do anything about it. Now they can peek on over. And as you said, wait with using the utility until you have limited angles, until you're guaranteed that they're going to do damage. And Kick does it once more. Finds Salute. Beneath you will pick up a Loki as well.
17 slowly making their way.
Yeah.
Danawa completely eliminated, and now they can turn their full
Naik
attention.
lagi.
Under bang Bal.
7 kills for Sonic.
Aduh, naik kill.
Xiaobei will do the same.
Bisa
And Sonic
TGLT
gets the final
demam.
win of day number 2.
Demam.
Utility in the
Demam
end.
ya,
Bro.
bro.
Ada bu,
Denied their opportunity to cross the street. They had the smokes, but they
Oh,
used them
demam
too
panggung
early
dia,
to
guys.
try and make waves, and it did not work out. Still the finish is Sonic's great game. Control from what was a very difficult position to play.
Oke guys, thank you guys. Saya ke sebelah dulu ya.
Oke guys, thank you,
Thank you. Kita menantang impian. Guys, saya udah dulu nih untuk sesi nobar kali ini. Ini bakalan dipublish ya. Bakalan dipublish, jadi tenang aja. Nanti yang belum sempet lihat nobarnya bisa replay ya. Oke, thank you. Saya bakalan restream lagi 5 menit lagi atau 10 menit lagi, oke? Thank you guys. Bye bye.